It's the Bennington Show. Kind of weird opening song week. And that one made me inexplicably cry. And I don't know what just happened there.
It puts me in a trance every time I hear it.
I guess if you hang around one note long enough, it'll work for you. It is the Bennington Show. Ron Bennington, Gail Bennington.
Yo.
Joey Jojo got really, stuffed in the face yesterday by Big J Bennington. Vito feeling on the edge because, Hicks's first girlfriend is coming back today, Bennington. And, of course, Stanley, I've bounced back. I'm doing my work. I'm making things happen, Bennington.
Fucking focused and feeling great.
I've noticed.
For real.
I know.
Ronnie B.
I know. I know.
All I want to do is get good work done. Sober, good to go, pointing at my dome. You know I'm doing well when I do that.
I know.
Everything's going well in here.
I looked at all this great work being done, and I'm talking off air. On air, he's always, himself.
Like this.
Yeah, he's always just the weirdo that we laugh and say you couldn't be more than wrong. But he just went on a tear since our big meeting the other day. And I was literally saying, should I say it or not say it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Should I just treat this as if it's normal or give him a big boy star? I don't know what's best.
I want good boy points. I got my good boy magic back.
The only people I know who give out points is Chris Hardwick and Eastside Dave. And I don't know which one of them came up with it first. Points. That weird show that he's doing now. I remember, I know you're not a subscriber, right?
No, I'm not, no.
So I sent you pictures of A, the way the lights are hard on him, and then B, the fun clown makeup that he had on. The clown makeup, unfortunately, has given him pink eye.
No!
Vito, go over to his Twitter.
No.
I think he missed the day of his real job. Which I didn't know the pink eye could be so bad that you couldn't do radio. Does it hurt? Is that the thing?
It's horrible.
I just thought it was irritating.
Oh my God, that's red eye.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
But he looks fantastic with a patch.
Wait, what?
Yeah. You don't know how sensitive this young man's skin is.
Oh.
He doesn't have what the rest of us do. So now he's rocking a patch. Someone also pointed to him, when you open your mouth in a picture, you look like Forrest Gump. You can't get out of that. New show is just so bizarre and just slaying. And the singing of the Dylan, it's all there. But so that's where we are in life right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, lots to get to. Returning champion to the show. Somebody, during the golden years, I think, of the Bennington Show.
Oh, yeah. Salad days, even.
Yeah. Pre this Vito sludgery time. And it's, of course, Chris's darling and
my baby.
Joey Jojo's best friend. And the person I think Gail had sexual tension with.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, yes.
So this is going to be awkward.
Yeah.
This is going to get real weird in here, guys.
Yeah. So, but it had that pre-Vito, man, the show's popping.
Like anything could happen.
And does.
Yeah.
And does.
There's sexual tension with me.
I can't understand what you're saying from the corner. God.
Stay in the corner.
He's so weird.
Stop it.
I run the computer.
You know what? I thought that you were great until Esther Koo just kicked the dog shit out of you and then drug your heart down the hall. And that changed. I was like, maybe Esther's right. Vito is...
She was right.
Yeah.
Esther's always right.
Yeah.
She'll fall for me.
Stop it, Vito. Now you became a creep. That's not positive thinking. That's creepishness.
Yeah, that's dirtiness. It's dirty. It's bad boy stuff.
I'm going to tweet her some pictures of me at the gym. Show her what's up.
Do not do that.
Stop it.
Seriously, don't
dude,
fucking do
bro,
that.
talk. God.
I get you want to bro down with your bros.
Broy.
You're going to smear off ice me. I know. I get it.
There's something wrong with people that can't take a hint. You know?
Just stop it.
Stop it. You're borderline rapist right now.
Take out the borderline.
No, I don't want to rape her. I just want to
Okay,
show her.
rapist.
I just want to show her like I'm a
Oh,
great choice.
stop it
You're
with
just
that.
talking that bro
Dude,
shit.
Bro.
Bro, you're such a bro.
God
I'm
damn
not-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about getting swell again.
I'm getting swole.
What's the fucking difference? It's stupid bro talk.
Gotta maintain my gains, bro.
Oh, stuff.
Where's the more protein,
Oh,
dog?
your impression is so good that I'm starting to dislike you.
Oh, that was Chris doing that?
Yeah, that was Chris.
Oh, God, I was looking at my phone. I just thought that was Vito.
You know what? Let's all stop looking at our phones and focus here.
Okay, good
You know,
point.
Quentin Tarantino takes away phones before they go on set, and I might take away everyone's phone but mine. Because I don't know, I might be getting messages that I need to get.
I think just no screens in here whatsoever.
No more.
And maybe turn the lights out, too.
By the way, Michelle with one L just said hi from her desk.
Oh.
So I got that text that I wanted to bring
Pretty
up
cool.
for everybody. Oh, it's way cool, dude.
Seems like you're checking your phone, too.
It's just not cool. It's Dan cool. You know?
Oh, Jesus.
Remember when we were up in Montreal with Dan and we were all...
We were together and having fun and not throwing down.
Yeah, and then he got his big award that was going to lead to his show and how happy we were.
You had your entourage moment.
That kind of shit doesn't happen anymore.
No, never. I don't remember the last award. No, I know Dan was the last award. I just remembered it.
I can win awards.
Oh, stop
See,
with
come on,
that.
man. You can't. They don't give awards to bros.
Then do it
Yeah,
already.
you do give awards.
Well, then Dane Cook would have won it over you easily.
What are you going to do? Go to the Spike Man Awards? Is that what you're going to do, bro, man?
But I know you watched that.
Yes, I do. Fight Club came out 2 years ago.
Well, the Fight Club did not come out 2 years ago.
The cast of Fight Club is what I meant.
All right. So here's some of the big stories. These are two that actually get to me. First of all, kids, and this is up on the iBang, kids today do not know how to sign their names. Now, Chris, you came up with this story. How could this be? They're not writing in school?
All these kids, all the kids today, these youngsters, they just get tablets and they're not signing anything. They don't learn cursive. They don't know how to sign their names. This came up in like an Albany education meeting.
Albany, in Georgia.
Albany, New York State, upstate. So they're like, hey, the kids don't even know how to sign their names these days. And people just started picking up. Yeah, they don't.
You know, this pisses me off because I feel like my first 3 years of school was nothing but printing and then busting into cursive after we learned to print.
I had anxiety about learning how to fucking do cursive.
Well, they would bring it up.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, they look at your printed E and like, this isn't going to fly when it's cursive time. You're like, oh, fuck. Printing an E is so hard. By the time I get to cursive.
And the amount of berating they did about just general sloppy handwriting, like it was such a reflection of yourself.
Look, not only was I a sloppy handwriter, and I was a terrible eraser. I could not rip my fucking paper to pieces as I was erasing. I just didn't put the time and effort, because I would look over and there would be like a smart girl would just be just lightly staying with her eraser. I just gave her two to 10 big fucking hard whips. Felt like that's good enough. And let me try to make an E around this hole in the paper.
I got an N in cutting and pasting just from my general sloppiness.
That's fucking racism.
Come on.
I know.
Why would they write that down for a child?
And they wrote the whole thing. I'm holding back.
You're saying, and they wrote the whole. That's why you can't send your children to school down south.
I know. That's Florida for you.
Yeah. And it is, but so I admire these kids for having computer.
Yeah, everyone just used tablets. They just touch screen central. No one has to sign anything on a goddamn touch screen. That's it. They don't have to learn it anymore.
But you do have to scribble your name there.
But you can just scribble. Like I can barely sign my own name anymore. Like,
When
I
is
just
the
don't
last
do it.
time you wrote in cursive?
Couldn't tell
Actually used cursive.
I know I called my dad once and said, how do you make a D? About 6 months ago. And I go, it's really similar to the B. One's on the left side, one's on the right. Quick, hurry up. I got some stuff I'm trying to do here.
It's really important.
I don't remember the last time I wrote anything in my own handwriting that had like any importance to it.
Right. That wasn't just jotting down a note. You're like, oh, people are going to see this.
Sometimes, like during a meeting, here's my notes from the meeting. It just says, fuck Chris.
Really? That's what,
Yeah.
I thought
He
there was
just
something else.
wrote that and then just showed me secretly. Like,
And then I drew a dick with some dots going into a guy's face. That was,
supposed to be.
as close as I could get. It really looks more like a D now that I think about it.
Just taking cum shot to the face. That's so
He always back the lowest common
just-
denominator.
just
You see how Gail even said D instead of, you know?
just said load.
Say L next time.
Got it.
You're so lucky that we have Vito here.
Thank God for Vito.
What?
Yeah.
He's a bro, though.
Yeah, but that's
Andrew,
what I like about
Jersey.
him.
Hey, Bennington. Hey, Ronnie, do you remember the ink eraser? Basically, you just put a hole in your paper. It didn't erase
I don't
anything.
even remember ever trying to erase ink. I would just then try to scribble over it. Quick.
You mean whiteout?
Yeah, white out. No, I guess you had an eraser at the end of your pen.
Yeah. It was. It must have been special ink that you could erase.
Special ed.
And it was like sandpaper. We just put a hole in the paper.
No, I don't even remember those, but I would put a hole in the paper with just a pencil thing.
Right.
First of all, this is the upgrading that you had to do. The first pencil that they give you weighs like 7 pounds. It's just this giant.
Yeah, why would that be easier than learning on a regular
I
size
don't know.
pencil?
I don't remember. I would get in trouble for having my fist around it instead of your
But you
fingers.
have to.
And I would write up high from up near the eraser, just like I think I got this down.
No more.
I remember kindergarten when I met my teacher before school had started, right? So we go and greet your teacher. She's going to be your teacher. And she was asking me how I did with writing, if I had done any writing. And I was like, I can write my name. And I showed her that I could write my name, but I did all capital letters.
Yeah.
And then she looked at it and just said, well, we're going to work on lowercase too. And I just remember just being destroyed by it.
Sure.
Like I really thought she was going to be like, whoa, you're writing already.
Looks like
First grade it is.
Looks like we've got a valedictorian. I can't see anybody catching you in 12 years. You are off to the races.
You understand so little at that point.
No, yeah. You really, this entire thing, it's got to be as difficult going into first grade and trying to deal with this as it is going for your doctorate. You know what I mean? Because your full concentration, comes down to going, are we going to move on from A's to B's? I mean, you break a sweat by the time you're done making all the A's that they keep forcing you into just over and over. And when you get the B's, you're like, fuck yeah, this is great. We're almost done.
Moving along.
No, dude, you're spending the rest of your fucking year with this shit.
You can't see the end of the tunnel yet.
Now we're supposed to read these drawings too?
This is insane.
I remember just sitting in first grade and looking over at my friend and go, fuck.
It's too much.
I'm not going to do this anymore. We're going to fucking Nat Turner this shit today. I'm surprised we don't have more Nat Turners in elementary school.
Oh, yeah. Just a complete revolt.
Yeah.
We're not putting up with this shit anymore.
I remember just looking around the fucking room when the teacher was talking and just doing with your hands doing the yap, yap, yap thing. Like she doesn't fucking stop.
You break.
Know it all.
What kind of ego would it take to pick this as your profession?
I'll be here for the next 7 hours speaking nonstop on a number of subjects.
And judging you.
And getting furious if anyone else talks.
Or looks around.
Do you know how difficult that is? Could you imagine now as an adult, someone just screaming at you if you had an aside thought that you wanted to say to a friend or just, I don't know, wanted to gaze out the window a little?
The leaves are turning. Why would I just want to sit here and not check this out? Pay attention. You don't understand, ma'am. A fly is in the room. I don't care. It's fucking fascinating. Her inability to understand children.
Right.
To understand what a child is like.
I had a friend who went to a school in Madeira Beach where they had their actual classroom looked out over the beach. Yeah. And not only could you see people playing on the beach, but you could see dolphins. And the teacher would get furious. Stop looking at the dolphins. It's like, how could you not?
When I was fifth grade, we had these huge windows that overlooked this factory in Marcus Hook, right? And it was an oil refinery. And at certain points, you ever see when you go past an oil refinery, they have that giant torch that just It's always burning. I guess it's burning something off.
Yeah, like
I don't know what's for.
something.
But some days it would just be explosive. Just these giant nuke balloons. Just and like the teacher would be writing shit, and she'd hear everybody in class go woo, like it was 4th of July, and she would freak out. And we're like, but there's giant explosions, fucking 60 yards from here, and we have a view. Like, if I saw this now, I would say we're going to commercial, and we would all run to the fucking window.
It's burning again!
And you would think she would have at least taken the time to explain to us what that refinery was, what people are doing. Nothing.
Never you mind, children.
Yeah, nothing about that. It's back to how terrible our fucking handwriting was.
Terrible people, teachers.
Oh, God. They must be the fucking worst.
They're disgusting.
Nat Turner, children. Nat Turner. That, by the way, I'm obsessed with because it sold at Sundance for $17 million.
That's crazy.
Highest ever in Sundance's history. That's the highest anyone's ever paid for a movie.
So this dude made the movie himself. He put up his own money. He's writing, directing, starring in it. And then turns around and gets a $17 million payday and probably, at least his next movie made. And already they're saying, this is a Oscar contender because we need it because Will Smith and his wife are mad.
Perfect timing.
This is the problem with this. If this movie would sneak up on me, I'd probably love it. But already the hype is so big, it couldn't possibly be good enough.
I saw the deadline, the headline. I got annoyed. I was like, well, now it's going to win all the fucking
What was that?
Oscars.
What was
It was
it?
just like a Birth of a Nation slave movie, highest ever Sundance selling.
Okay. Thanks, man. So here's the deal with that, too. Nat Turner is going to be a difficult person to sell as a complete Hollywood hero.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how historically accurate they make this film because the actual story of Nat Turner it's pretty gruesome.
It's bloody.
It's really bloody, and it involves not only revolting and, but women and children died as well.
They killed everybody.
Yeah, everybody. I had read this thing a long time ago where they were recalling that somebody who was involved with the revolt, after they had raided a plantation and killed everybody in the plantation, they had left, and one of the guys went, "Ugh, I hope that baby gets found by somebody." And they were like, "What?" I was like, "Oh yeah, there was a baby upstairs. I just left it there." And they're like, "We're going back. We're killing the baby." The whole troop marched back, murdered the baby, and then left.
See, this is why I hope that they don't kind of whitewash the story, because it's much more understandable that if you're made a slave, you're fucking snapping at a certain point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's something that, no matter where you are, what part of the world, the 1% has to pay attention to. Because there's a long history, whether it's the French Revolution, it finally, sooner or later, starving people fucking lose their shit and start dragging people out into the street.
Right.
It would probably take me 12 hours of being a slave before I'm ready to kill women and babies and everything else. So if they sell that story, like we can't take this fucking shit anymore,
right,
that'd be great. But if they make him into a dude who is like 100 years before his time, somebody, one day we'll actually have a black president of this country.
Exactly.
That will annoy the shit out of me. I hate those movies.
The foresight of this man.
Yeah, yes. There's always this thing where people have this gaze into history. But if you just made a movie about some guys that you try to fucking do this shit to, and they fucking snap, they're just fucking getting even.
It's interesting, too, that it's, they titled it Birth of a Nation, because that's that D.W. Griffith movie, which was super racist. It was basically like a pro-KKK movie.
And has his entire furniture done in the style of that movie.
And, it's like an epic. It's like 4 hours long.
People loved it because there was moving, images at the time. And probably a lot of people felt the same way. You know what I mean? At the time.
And starring Lillian Gish, who was huge then.
Yeah.
Oh, anything she's in. Hot fire, that Lillian Gish.
I don't know if we have anyone that we could. Oh, I guess J-Law, right? I guess J-Law is today's Lillian Gish. And then who did Lillian Gish married? Somebody like fucking famous too, right?
Yeah, I think she married a filmmaker, right?
I can't remember, but I don't know what it was about her, but they were all crazy about her.
Oh,
they
yeah.
couldn't get enough of her.
Well, she looked like a little China doll.
No. Who doesn't like a China doll?
When she got fappened. Would have been great.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
I don't know.
She was underage, by the way.
Oh,
when she
Jesus Christ.
By the
was
way,
making these
the
films.
fappening would have to take place at a Nickelodeon where you're just sitting there turning that thing. Have you ever seen any of those and done it before?
Yeah,
Where
they're so wild.
I knew people who literally had the old time kind, and you could still put a penny into it and do it.
Oh,
it was down
wow.
at Crystal Beach.
That is so cool.
Yeah, and they didn't treat it as if it was this wonderful, antique. They treated it as something like, hey, we can still take change off of people with this. See how they did it in the old days. That's amazing. So that's where Lillian Gish's fappening would have taken place. Chris, you're so disgusting that the fappening never leaves your mind for
Never.
That you're trying to fap in 15-year-old Lillian Gish.
No. Would have waited till of age, Lillian Gish.
When you're sitting there with a calendar, it's fucking creepy.
Yeah.
It's Lillian Gish countdown, boys.
I can't wait till Dan gets here and returns the class to this show.
That's what we used to call him, Classy Dan. Classy Dan Pro Man.
Here's the other kid's story. There's this, for some reason, this restaurant, I think in Rome, won't let people in under 5. But why is this a national story in our country?
Because it's.
Is that the first restaurant that won't let children in? I thought I've seen that before.
Well, they also got they got pressed because they were calling them like horrible monsters, children at 5 years old and below. So they
That's
were
because
just
they're Italian and they speak that way.
Yeah.
they don't care about people.
They're expressive. But I have a bar. It's actually a beer garden in my neighborhood, and they got into trouble because they decided to say there's a cutoff point when children are first of all, it's a beer garden.
Right.
So yes, they serve food there. I get it. But first and foremost, it's, we have 1 million beers and that's why you should come here.
Right.
So it's because of the neighborhood. It's very family, kids running everywhere. It's like a playground. It's like going to a park. It doesn't feel like, beer. Yeah. So they had to say after a certain time, we are going to say no kids allowed after this time.
Because that's when real hardcore drinking takes place.
Exactly. And it was a huge controversy in the neighborhood, and there were people saying that is...
You know why? Because some people want to take their children out while they get hammered on beers from around the world.
Yeah.
And I see it constantly in my neighborhood. Not just that place, but all the time. People bringing their...
You know what?
Strollers. Pushing strollers into the bar.
You know what? See, here's the thing. Now, normally I would see the plight of the parents, but... since they never stuck up for smokers, fuck you.
Oh, yeah.
Now you can't bring your children in here.
Yeah.
You know what? If you want to see your children, stand out in front of on the sidewalk and see them there next to the smokers, you pricks.
It's the kids section. Just make it one section,
By the way,
really.
Gail, I'm over Gail's place in Brooklyn, and I say, any place, I'm hungry, let's go out for lunch. Any place to get a good burger. And she's like, oh, I know, there's beer garden. So we walk in there. There's got to be, 50, 60 people sitting around?
Yeah.
And I just hear this, Gail! And I'm like, what the? You got to watch it, honey.
What?
It's too much.
Oh, it's
you don't want to be
Gail!
the norm of this place.
I mean, the amount of people that go through a beer garden.
Yeah. Well, cheers. I was doing a cheers joke. We don't have to do math. Just think of the TV show Cheers.
Oh, yeah.
You weren't familiar with it? You just thought it was an entirely new concept I came up with? That's interesting. So you would be no kids in a restaurant? You've worked in some nice restaurants before, right?
I have, yeah.
Do people who go to eat there want to eat next to little children that need a hot dog cut up?
Well, I would say that here's the problem. It's fine. I don't think that people should be banned, children should be banned from all restaurants. I get it. But there's also this idea of when they come in, they're like now this is your problem. Like, you need to accommodate everything that I need because I have a person who is not an adult-sized human.
So, like, they're shocked that you don't have crayons and paper.
You would be shocked how often that gets asked at a place that it's not really that kind of place.
Yeah,
it's not that kind of place.
It's a nice upscale place.
But, when it's 10 at night on a Saturday and, people are buying more expensive meals or drinking and the checks go up.
And more expensive wine.
It becomes very difficult to say, oh my God, why are there 10 kids in this place?
Right. If I'm buying a $120 bottle of wine, I'm not saying I want to be in a family joint. You know what I mean? There's a reason that I didn't go out to that place that has arcades. What do they call it? The shitty fucking dad.
Dave and Buster's?
Yeah. a shitty dad will take his kids to a Dave and Buster's. I find that hilarious. But I could see a guy out on a date. He's buying an expensive bottle of wine. It's 10 o'clock at night. He's looking for a romantic restaurant, not a family restaurant.
Exactly. And there are certain, obviously there are parents who are good at it. They don't treat it like it's your problem. Or if their kids start screaming, they'll take them out. But you would be shocked how many people are just like,
no, I'm not shocked because I live on the planet Earth.
This is everybody's problem now that this kid is screaming or acting up, or even worse, just saying, they need some exercise. And the kid's just like running up and down the restaurant, that kind of stuff. Give me a break on a busy Saturday night.
I think that the only thing to do is if you're in a bar or a restaurant like that is to treat it just the same way you would any other drunk. And you got to be, if you're sitting at your table and guys running by, you're like, hey, dude, you keep fucking with me and I'm knocking your shit out. Say that to a three. I'm fucking serious, man. You just slammed into me again. Because if an adult was doing that, you're going to hit that guy. I will fuck you up. You're in an adult restaurant. You're going to be treated like one.
There's also rules in restaurants and bars in New York, I don't know about other places, that you can't have a kid actually at the bar. If you're underage, you actually can't sit at the bar. And that would be an argument that I would have to have with people. Like, it's not my rule. Like, we will be in trouble. We will get fined if they walk in and see an 8-year-old taking up a seat at the bar.
Yeah.
So, there's also things like that it's just like, it's not even that person's fault. Like, a child should not be bellied up next to you.
It is. See, and I had a kid on my street. His dad is now what we would call an alcoholic. At the time, we didn't. His dad went to the same tap room about 5 blocks away. Took his son with him every night, my buddy. They both sat at the bar. The dad would sit there and drink. And my friend would drink orange soda all night, just sit there. All the guys in the bar knew him. And from about the time that he was 10 or 11, he would drive the car home. Now we're only talking about 4 blocks through a residential neighborhood. Very little chance of getting in any trouble. It was probably 2 o'clock in the morning. Everybody at the bar loved that fucking kid. You know what I mean? He was a very quiet kid. Didn't even grow up to be a partier himself. He just was with his dad, loyal, me and my dad are buddies type guys. That, I think, is an exception. You make that rule work.
Yeah.
But if he was running around in that place, he would have taken a dart in the neck. I guarantee you.
Dart that kid, please.
Here's the thing. If you're going to say that people are people, you can't say an age difference. That's the problem that we have right now. Because a lot of people would feel better eating not around kids, but there are a number of people who would like to not eat around blacks or Asians, and we can't have restaurants like that.
Can't accommodate that.
You don't want to have the whites only steakhouse, which, by the way, might even have a line for all I know. You know what I mean? So what do you do? And people, like children are someone that you're allowed to hate these days.
Yeah.
You could say, I was in a theater, a child was there, and I hate that child. And everybody at the party will go like this, yeah, I hate a kid too at a theater.
Oh, yeah.
Wish I could just kick the fuck out of them.
Just smother it.
So there's some of the few people that we're still allowed to say suck and are awful. The problem is people that used to feel that way have a kid And now they just change sides immediately.
Right. Then they're all of a sudden they're like, actually, my kid should be allowed.
Now, I had 2 kids that you could take out as children to a tasting menu, and they would enjoy it. Gail was she would go out to any place, but your little brother would just, it didn't matter what you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He would eat foreign food, wouldn't, you guys never were any trouble, no, but that's just a thing of luck. I don't know what you people do if they've got those screaming antsy kids.
Yeah, I think that's another part of it. Like, I feel I was always trying to be patient when I saw people trying to teach their kid how to behave in a restaurant. So I respect that that's a hump that person has to get over with their kid. We're like, hey, this is how we behave, and I'm going to try to show you this. But what I don't understand is just, which I see a lot in Brooklyn, is just like, do you guys have crayons? Do you have a play place? Like, no, you're in a restaurant. Like, your job is then to teach your kid how to be an adult, not we need to accommodate your double wide.
But doesn't it take a village? You know what I mean? Shouldn't there be somebody from another table who gets up and just whispers in the kid's pocket, I'll dig your fucking eye out with my thumb. Say that shit to your mom again. Say it to your fucking mom again. See where I'm sitting right over there? I'll jump up and I'll dig your fucking eye out. I'll sit up and eat your tiny little hot dog pieces. That's it. I'm not fucking playing games with you. Keep drawing the fucking cloth table. That's okay with me. I think it's, I know that some people get mad about you, but I'm one of those guys, if I go out somewhere, I don't care if someone's talking loud. I don't care if there's a drunk person. Some people let their whole life get destroyed. I'm like, this is the situation that we're in. There's not a lot we can do about it.
It's part of dining out, for sure.
Theo, Cleveland. Theo.
Guys, absolutely love the show. I've never been probably more compelled to seek your advice than right now. I'm going to be taking my daughter to Greece this summer. She's about 1.5, so I wanted to see what your thoughts were if we let her get her exercise running up and down the aisle on the plane.
Well, if I see a 1.5-year-old running back and forth, I'm going to laugh. That's my fucking thing. I know some people hate it, but now on a plane, aren't we all wearing headphones? I mean, it seems like that kid could be screaming from being murdered, and I wouldn't know about it.
It's flat screens, bro.
Yeah. I'm the person that the stewardess has to come over and say, take those out, we're landing.
Right. I've always been pretty understanding when it comes to kids. I'm always happy. I know people get upset when they find out, oh my God, I'm sitting next to someone with a baby.
Right.
I'm like, oh, good. Something's going to distract me a little bit.
Watch your clothes. But see, here's the thing. Some people literally hate children.
Yeah.
Theo, here's the deal. Can you put up with the people in the plane hating you, or are you one of those guys that bothers?
No, I'm fine. I mean, I'm Greek, so most people.
Oh yeah, you're Greek. I forgot about it. You don't give a fuck what anybody does.
No problem.
Why don't you just say, come to my grandfather's diner? It's got a giant menu, bigger than you could ever even read through.
Anything you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, Greek stuff, but really from every nationality.
I've never, going into a diner and ordered the lobster, but I know it's there. And I'm like, should I have the lobster or the grilled cheese?
All kinds of options. Plus, you throw a little feta on that lobster, you're missing out. It's a great thing.
All right, peace. Thanks. Here's Ted in Providence. Ted.
Hey, guys, $1 million.
$1 million.
So the opposite. I mean, I got a 6-month-old baby girl. I always like kids. To me, like, if you're at a wedding, it's not really fun unless there's kids running around. Like, I understand. That's a party. Like, I like old people and kids and everybody in between. But the opposite thing of the babies in restaurants is like, I had some friends just say to me, oh, we're going to go, they're a married couple, no kids. We're going to go to Disney World, and we need some suggestions on where to go to avoid children. I was like, You could go somewhere.
Go to the Hall Presidents. No kid wants to be there. But I've seen people butt in front of children at the light parade. And I'm like, dude, it's a fucking light parade. Me and you shouldn't give a shit. You know what I mean? Let the kids up front.
I will combine both of the things that you just said.
Yeah.
And I know somebody who told me a friend of theirs was having a Disney wedding, like, you know, those big elaborate. And they said no kids allowed. So people are going to be dressed up like princesses and characters are going to come through and she's coming in the pumpkin or whatever.
You know
but
how
no
expensive
children.
that shit is too?
No children are allowed to witness
Imagine
that.
how pissed off your kids would be if you came home with a picture of you next to the princess in a pumpkin.
You know what? My parents actually went to L.A., went to Disney World and brought me shit back. And I'd never been there. No Disneyland in L.A. I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, I can't imagine caring about that. I remember a kid on my street went down to Disney World before any of us did. And he came back. We said, how was it? And he's like, so fucking fake. we were like the worst age that you could be as a kid, and somewhere in between like 10 and 13, where boys are just so obnoxious. And he's like, they had some dude in a fucking costume acting like he was Mickey Mouse. Do not go.
Saw right through it.
And that's all I needed to hear, that bad review. Oh, it fucking blows, huh?
Forget it.
Yeah, it blows. That's why they had for years a problem at Disney as they're trying to scoop up every penny in the world. But then they had to start to really market to those annoying kids. And that's why you have the Star Wars and shit like that now. They figured out how do we get to these guys? All they want to do is have you check in there and not check out. And people go, well, I've been to Orlando. I went to Disney World. No, you're fucking far from Orlando. You're in Disney World and you're not leaving.
So the Vatican's a sovereign state.
It is.
You're joking, but it's true. They got a police force in there. They have a fire department in there. It takes you miles before you actually leave the grounds. Miles and miles. You think that, I mean, there's liquor stores in there.
There's liquor stores at Disney World?
Many bars, many liquor stores.
And then, of course, there's also that town that's within it. There's Celebration or whatever, where it's like people
that one
live.
I don't even understand at all. I never even went in there.
No.
That seems a little too weird for me. But yeah, you go down there and you feel like, okay, we left Disney, we're at the hotel. You're still in Disney. You're still there. You've never left. So you get into like any kind. Oh, I'm on a tram. No, that means that you're in Disney. You're not in anything else but Disney at any time. You get on a bus. It's a Disney bus, dude.
It's like a whole Disney World.
One time I went down to, and this is a fucking true story. I went down to Orlando at the airport, and I had to go to Orlando to a club, right? It took me fucking so long to get a cab because the cabs were only going to Disney World, not to downtown Orlando at the time.
They refused. They were just like, no, we gotta go.
They weren't for me. Those fucking things. They were like, all these cabs are going to Disney. Like the guy at the airport, yours will be showing up later. And just like some fucking car. Here is well, I mean, fucking going on here. Let's go up here to Chris. Chris, what's up?
Benningtons, love the show.
Thanks, buddy.
I was there in September. I took my 5-year-old, me and my wife, and there should be 2 separate Disneys. One for these weirdo adults with no children around there. I sat on a line for, I don't know, like an hour and a half to go see one of the princesses, and you had like 25, 30-year-old adults.
Oh yeah,
it was just really weird,
dude. And then you talk to those people, and they're like the people who've seen Fish too many times. They're like, this is my 500th trip to Disney, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Now I used to take my kids there, but we lived fairly close, so we would go just do a piece of the park instead of the whole park. But you see people who are there and need to do the immense park within days, and you gotta stay on a full run to pull that off, right?
Oh yeah, it was work. It was we had an itinerary every day. It was.
It's not relaxing for adults. I don't know why an adult would want to be there. And then obviously your kid can't keep staying at, euphoria. You know, at a certain point, they have to they want to settle down too. So you're like, you're fucking missing it. You just see parents, you'll see the dad just throw a fucking diaper bag down. He can't believe that he spent all this money and this time.
Happiest place on earth.
Yeah. And, the kids, no one can keep going like that.
And then the adults who were there with no children are like getting upset and hissy with the little kids running around the park. It was amazing to watch.
I've seen it a million times. I remember a lot of days I would just stay at the hotel and send my chick over with the kids. Be like, you guys are going to go back and do that thing, right? I'm a little tired. I'm probably going to just stay next to the pool for a little bit. Because there's all kinds of shit that you can just hang around a hotel and do. Probably just order in.
That's my plan next time.
Yeah.
Be good. Take care.
Peace. Yeah, there are adults that are just...
This is so bizarre, man.
Nuts. You didn't know any of this, huh?
I didn't know adults went there over and over and over again. I mean, how often do they update?
Dude, they collect things from there. They collect, if you think of any cartoon, there's expensive figurines and shit with every one of them that you're supposed to collect a piece at a time.
No, you shouldn't collect them. That sounds crazy.
You can't tell people what to collect. You know what I mean? I don't know why people collect things that are just made, but they do.
Someone just made that.
You have a grandmother that has all the Disney shit.
Yeah, she's
in a glass closet, and to me, it just looks fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. All these little ceramic figurines.
Yeah. And so now her living room looks like one of these bad tchotchke stores that's in Times Square that you walk into.
I'm glad I never went to Disney World now. I was missing something as a kid.
Well, you did.
Well, yeah.
As a child,
that's the thing.
I preferred
fun
Six
when
Flags.
you're little.
Well, you know what? If you came up with a good point, there is a lot to be said by just going to the local amusement park and riding the rides. It's certainly less stressful.
Oh man,
because you don't feel like you've missed something from the brochure. That's the fucking thing. People can be down there a week and then they get on the plane and they're looking back. Oh, Jesus Christ, we missed it. It's enormous. And then the weird thing is the other one isn't that far away, the Universal.
Is that the same thing?
No.
What?
No.
I thought Universal Studios was part of Disney.
No. They had the old MGM, which they've renamed. There's Epcot. There's 4 different.
Yeah. Epcot's part of Disney, but it's its own park. It's its own thing.
I always thought it was all the same thing. Disney World included Universal Studios.
But yeah, Universal's not part of Disney.
It's miles away. Universal's a little more adult-centered, I think.
Yeah, or at least, when it seems like it.
Like teens and up. There's not a lot of stuff for babies, I don't think.
Yeah, that's why there's a sweet spot for kids where you have a certain amount of years you can take your kid to Disney. You don't want to go too early because you don't want them to forget it, because then they'll have no memory of it. So if you're going to go ahead and spend the money, you don't want to do it when they're just look like, I don't remember any of that.
It's actually 5 to 9. I think that a kid could be overwhelmed and excited by it.
Yeah.
Little girls probably longer because they don't feel like they need to do every single thing. They might want to just find their one thing and do it over and over. I remember when we went to the Honey That Shrunk the Kids, your brother was really little and just never wanted to leave this thing where it was because he loved the movie and he was 3 or something like that. And you go there and it's this playground that's all rubbery. Look, there it is right there. And you're walking around in that. And he felt like he was in the movie.
It's pretty cool.
I think we stayed there 5-6 hours. You don't want to go and do something else? No. I'm at the Honey That Shrunk the Kids.
This is all I need.
Now, the reason why I didn't grab him by the shirt and start moving is that I lived about an hour away, so I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, they'll be here.
Yeah. Well, it does look kind of fun. You
take your picture on Auntie.
And whatever you fall on is like rubber. Remember that?
Yeah.
You bounce it off of it and shit, so you're fine. It's like they did something with the gravity somehow. Donnie in Oklahoma, what's up, buddy? Donnie, we got...
It's Jim in Oklahoma.
All right. It's you.
Just making sure that's who you're talking to. Anyhow, one of the things a lot of people like about your show is how it, like, reminds you of stuff when you're growing up and what for better and worse. I was one of those kids that grew up in the bars. Do people still do that?
I think they do, because bars are not all dive bars these days. You know, there's a lot of things that are really bars, and then they act like there's something else.
Gastropubs.
Right, exactly.
I mean, gastropubs is the high end of it, but even Chili's to me is a fucking bar. You know what I mean? Like, they act like it's a place to eat. But if you're in there after 10 o'clock, people are just slamming drinks.
Oh, I mean, I've been there.
Exactly. Well, one of the things that I started remembering when you're talking about this is, like, you see some shit when you're a kid in a bar that you shouldn't be, that nobody should be seeing.
All right, like what? What did you say?
Like other kids getting molested.
All right, so that's a whole different thing.
Oh,
I mean, you're in Oklahoma.
What kind of bar is that?
I'm not from Oklahoma.
It's a KT bar.
In Minnesota, actually.
All right, so you're a little kid, you're in a bar, and you watched it in Minnesota.
Well, this is the situation. Okay?
And you saw Joe's dad touch a child.
Can you do that again? He had the order on it.
And this guy, I guess he was somebody's uncle or something, walks up behind her, grabs both of her tits from behind, almost like I got your nose kind of a thing, you know? And she was like, Uncle Don, you know, kind of shit. And you just,
that kind
when
of
you're
stuff.
a little kid, you're just like, I don't know what this is, but this is fucking weird. You know?
Jim, I got to tell you, we were having a really lovely conversation.
That's nice.
Talking about, you brought in the fact that you saw a molestation take place. And that could have happened.
Typical bar behavior.
That could have happened in a bar, a church.
Got your nips.
All right, Chris. The fact that
That's disgusting, and you're the only one laughing.
And by the way, yeah, it was the smile on his face.
And the motion he did when he did it.
Oh,
a little
Chris.
a tune in Tokyo situation.
Anyway.
Yeah,
it was, man, I don't know.
All right.
You do know.
Well, sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry, Jim. Sorry for what you've seen.
Sucks.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, sorry, pal. All right. He's ruined. Here is Kevin in Philly. Kevin.
Hey, guys. Love the show.
It is great.
Do you think there's a certain degree of selfishness with parents who feel they have to bring their infant everywhere? Like they're not willing to put their social life on hold for maybe a year, you know, or a year and a half. I mean, you know, you see these parents all proud, like, oh, we're I don't know, rough it campers or hikers, and they bring like a 2-month-old baby into the wilderness.
Yeah, you see that shit all the time, too.
But I mean, like, you know, that to me that's wrong, and that's almost abuse.
I don't know. My family took us camping. I mean, if I look back at this, my little sister was really little. She was really little. But I mean, we were at a campsite. We weren't mountain climbing.
But I've also seen somebody take a week-old baby to a restaurant where I'm not even sure they should be out of the house yet. Like, give it a month at least.
I agree.
All right, but let's do this. I mean, we agree that a time of the night should be Adult Swim, right?
I think
should be
so.
Adult Swim. So what are we talking about? What time should you be able to go into a bar or restaurant and not bump into children?
9:30.
I was thinking 10 on, weekend nights.
Because a lot of these people that are complaining at 7:30, 8 o'clock, come on, dude, you need to fucking...
Yeah.
You know
You're
what?
fucking lighting that fire that early?
Yeah, what you need to be doing is smoking a couple of bones and having some beers at your house before you go out.
Pre-game, dog.
I mean, you definitely... You should be a
that
thing
way.
where you're drinking without a shirt on, but you do have your nice pants on.
Getting ready.
You don't want to fuck your shirt off. You're doing that 3-hour getting ready to go out.
Yeah. Trying to feel good.
But that is funny. Like, the people that complain, you wouldn't expect to see children at a nightclub.
Yeah.
You know, or people in sneakers, God forbid.
No. Or boots, apparently.
I only heard that from one idiot. And that's New Dan, Vito.
Ew.
Ew. Did you just say ew?
Ew.
Ew.
Here is Bob. Bob in West Virginia.
Hey, Ronnie, I feel like I need to take a shower after that molestation.
I know. He kind of
really
just
dark.
dropped the bomb on me.
The lightness of the show before.
I'm sure there'll be a molestation conversation sooner or later. Save that story from that.
Just wait.
The things I've seen.
Well,
the tax ships.
I wanted to share something a little happier with you guys.
Good.
Thank
we need
you.
it.
A couple of years ago, I was required to take a 3-day Walt Disney University training course for the company I represented. And it was the craziest show I've ever seen in my life. And what they were trying to do, they were trying to indoctrinate employees in other disciplines to the Disney way of doing things. So we spent half a day in class, half a day at a different theme park each day. But what was crazy, we dressed up as Disney workers and got behind the rope for the rope drop when the people came into Magic Kingdom when it opened at 10 o'clock in the morning. And it was like a latter-day Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
People, there are all kinds of languages. They're clutching Mickey and Minnie dolls and speaking every language across the book. The excitement. They were dressed in character. And the joy that those people were experiencing by getting to go into the Magic Kingdom was literally breathtaking to me, and just one of the coolest things I've ever been a part of.
Well, like I said, I took my children there when they were little, but if you're there as an adult and you're just watching the transportation system that takes place, and there's tours that you can do, that you go under Disney and you see how they do, the garbage and how they bring food in. I mean, it's massive. And
we got to see all of that, Ronnie. Yeah. You're exactly right. There is a city under each one of the theme parks, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Wild West, all of them. There is literally a city of people that never see the light of day during their shift. But one of the cool things was going behind the scenes again in the employees. When they were off duty, they were smoking cigarettes, they were cussing, they were talking about their feet hurting and all this shit. And when the switch flipped on, boom, happy smile, helmet, eye contact, all of that stuff. It was just, it's so America that it's just, everybody should experience it, adult or not. I was lucky. I took my wife and my grandson and granddaughter, and they played in the parks while I was in class, and then we went to the parks after that. So I got to experience it on both different levels. And again, it was, I won't say life-changing, but it was really illuminating to me.
Well, they are doing this thing that supposedly they've sunk like $1 billion into this, and it's going to be a bracelet that you get, and you basically, they'll mail you the bracelet, and from that point on, you basically don't need any money. Even at the airport, they're going to do it. You won't think about your bag. Your bag will appear in your room, and wherever you go, whatever you're eating or whatever, it's all going to be on this one tab.
They have it down.
Yeah.
Ronnie, that is a reality. My son and daughter-in-law and the 2 grandchildren moved from West Virginia to Pinellas Park. Hi, Fez.
Yeah.
Pinellas Park, Florida. They both got jobs in the Tampa Bay area. They are annual pass holders of Disney. They moved because of Disney World, crazy as that sounds, and they have those like Fitbit bands for Jason, Krista, Blake, and Chloe. And what you said was exactly right. It tells them when their room is ready. They just swipe it to ride. They get to jump the line with these bracelets.
Any tchotchkes that they want to buy, any meals that they want to buy, nobody touches money, and the whole thing is all just shows up. It's really it's advanced program, but this company has done this years and years and years in a row. I mean, they've always on the forefront. Well, look what they did. They turned around and bought Star Wars, and they're turning it into a separate kind of Star Wars land.
Like its own park.
The toys, yeah. I mean, it's just they know how to make this shit happen. I've been there on the VIP thing in radio when my kids were little, because when they opened up different rides, and so we skipped lines, we were treated. We had somebody with us to take care of everything. You get back to the room, and there's all kinds of stuffed animals and treats for the kids. I mean, by the time you're on the radio there, you're just like singing their praises the entire week.
We love it here.
It's unbelievable. The guy who does Goofy's voice is coming by later. Yeah, it was stunning. I just had this memory that, so me and my partner were there doing it, and my kids were little, like really little, and we're doing all the park, we're doing all this stuff. And the thing that they had opened up a Star Wars ride, it was their first Star Wars ride, and this was maybe early 90s, something like that. So one of us actually had to be at the broadcast thing while the other one went in, right? We couldn't both go in together. And so I stayed, I was going to do it later with the kids, and he went in with the microphone to broadcast it. And what we had never figured out is that he had never seen Star Wars. And he was very exciting. And he was like, there seems to be a tall dog coming towards us with, it looks like robotic friends. One is human shaped. The other looks like a moving trash can. And like, he wasn't doing it to be funny. And I'm like, you're talking about Chewbacca? He hasn't said his name yet.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, it was amazing. All right, we better break here. We'll be right back. A lot more to get into. Dan Perlman is making his return.
Finally.
Going to talk a little bit about the Super Bowl. And by the way, 1 million moms want you to boycott Olive Garden. My boycott started about 20 years ago, but if the rest of you are on to it. Also, Michael Jackson, a new Michael Jackson movie by a great actor. This should be fantastic. And I can't follow the Kanye West tweet story, so you and Joe are going to fill me and Gail in on it.
We're going to lay it down.
Do you follow what's happening there? Somebody's dating somebody?
I tried to, but I was so confused in trying to read articles about it. I have no idea what's going on.
Is Kanye dating Rob Kardashian and the whole family is mad at him for it?
I think so.
No.
Right back with all this and more. It's Bennington. Yeah, buddies, Bennington Show. So much to get to here today. And I'm watching the Trump stuff is switching on a daily basis. Huckabee is showing up with him at the Veterans event. And now I think that group that he offered to raise money for said, keep your money. We don't want it. So I guess they don't like Trump, the Wounded Warriors. I know we have friends that don't like Wounded Warriors that say that they're an organization that doesn't get stuff to people.
Oh, really? So they're one of those things, they stop up the money. And
I don't know that for a fact. I'm going to write the person's name down for you.
Okay.
I think that's who told us.
Ah.
Now you remember that?
Yep, I do.
Now suddenly back on the Wounded Warriors conversational thing. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to accuse. I don't know anything about it. I just heard it from one guy who seems to be in the know about such things.
That's a person I trust.
I didn't know that Huckabee stopped running, or is he still running?
Does he still work for Fox News?
No, you gotta give up when you're running. You can't run and be a broadcaster.
That's weird.
The whole thing's weird. It's really, really exciting, though.
Yeah, I wonder if Murdoch, Trump, demanded Murdoch has to talk to him. You think Murdoch will do it?
Murdoch, he's having fucking Mick Jagger's chick take his money right now. He doesn't know where he is. But no, that was actually a good line that Trump had about that. Like, look, I can only talk to Murdoch, nobody else. That's fucking great. I know a lot of people think that this is both of them, Trump and Fox, together running a grift. I don't see it. I think
they couldn't.
This is truly a power struggle. But here's my prediction. No matter what happens, this is great for Megyn Kelly. You know what I mean? Megyn Kelly gets heat out of this.
Oh, absolutely.
And if Trump gets elected even, she's the person that is really tied in with him one way or another, whether it's a makeup or it stays a breakup. Great for Megyn Kelly. If I was her guy, I'd be like, if I was her like agent, I'd be like, Megyn, this is it. It's going to be nothing but fucking money from this point on. Your hair looks great. She redid her hair. So it's short and sassy and, yeah.
Yeah, she's sassy.
Yeah,
but it's the whole thing's humanized her a bit.
Yeah, she's not such a fembot. You're right. It's a good election. It's a lot of fun. And the Democrats are crazy because if Hillary gets indicted, it could literally just be Bernie Sanders and nobody else could beat him now. No one else is ready. This is not, it's a two-person race. Everybody's like, oh, Bernie, he's just out there. We're giving it to Hillary. But, Bernie, it'll be good. Somebody for her to travel around with so she's not alone. And if this thing happens where she's in big trouble and can't run it, it's just Bernie's.
Yeah.
That's like a fucking movie. And then you're like, well, I would never vote for Bernie Sanders, but he's running against Trump. What do I do? Don't worry, Bloomberg's on his way.
No matter what, it's going to be a battle of extremes.
Yeah, it's all extremes. It's fantastic. Hopefully this will be our last president, no matter who it is. This will be the end of the republic. Then we'll suddenly become an empire.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be great. All right, let's see. The Million Moms, I don't know whether you remember them. They get really mad about anything gay or whatever. They don't want you to go to Olive Garden because Olive Garden buys commercials for a TV show called Lucifer. And they actually put this up on their site. If you click on Through the iBang, I'm having a lot of trouble. Maybe when Dan gets here, we'll be able to get things straightened out. But
he's really
the Interrobang is where we have the story up at. And there you go. You got it. So the thing is, if you go to their little boycott place, they have the term no sympathy for the devil. I'm like, you're doing a fucking Rolling Stones thing. Isn't that hilarious?
That's insane.
So I don't know the last time I've been to Olive Garden.
So it's just a Lucifer thing. That's just the associating with Lucifer.
Well, they make Lucifer look cool.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, he's not like a devilhead. He's a guy who owns a nightclub, drives a cool car. He's a good-looking dude. Chicks love him.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, sounds great.
I watched the first episode. I try to give everybody a good, nice first episode.
He has a cool car, right? I mean, I saw him driving around.
Yeah, he does have a cool car. We'll say it again to emphasize that fact. There is a cool car in this. But, it's just a regular TV show. Oh, they also don't like Angel from Hell because it makes fun of angels, and that makes fun of Christianity. So, Angel from Hell. I don't know what restaurant you don't go to for that.
Outback?
But that's actually very fucking funny. That's a pretty funny show. All right, so that's up. All right, so let's move over to something that the kids actually will care about. And this is Kanye West. And this is the way he promotes his album coming out, right?
So this is just a crazy clusterfuck because he's been going into a Twitter war with this dude Wiz Khalifa, who is also a rapper. He did Black and Yellow.
Oh, I do know the song Black and Yellow.
Definitely.
Yeah. So Kanye changes the name of the album, the greatest album that's ever going to be made.
Yeah.
That one. He changed it to like the name Waves. And then Wiz Khalifa started shitting on him for changing the name. And then they started.
What was it before that?
I think it was Made.
Swish.
Swish?
Swish.
All right, now why would he get mad that somebody's changing the name of their album?
Because waves means you dress well. I guess if you're wavy, you
didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I'm finding out about this. So, and then Wiz Khalifa basically was saying that you don't dress well, Kanye West. You shouldn't have changed your name of your album to Waves.
Why is this news then? Why would anyone care? Joe, I'm going to go to you because Chris can't be right about this being just about the way someone's dressed.
Okay, yeah. So Wiz Khalifa tweeted at Kanye West. He goes, KK, smoke this, be yourself again. Kanye West said, don't talk about my wife like that, Kim Kardashian.
Oh, okay. So it isn't about dressing, it's the fact that the wife got brought up.
The wife got brought up.
That makes actual sense.
There you go.
All right, so then what happens?
So Kanye West mistook it. He's like, don't bring my wife. He goes, no, that's a kind of weed. But then he followed it up with a list of reasons why Kanye, quote, ain't wavy.
And what were those reasons?
It has since been taken down. No one can find them. But Kanye West put out his own list, 17 reasons why Wiz Khalifa sucks. And the ensuing tweets are hilarious.
All right, well, give us back and forth. Give us the whole deal.
So he starts off, he's like, hey, you wear, hey, cool pants. Hey, also you stole your stuff from Kid Cudi. And Kid Cudi's another rapper from Chicago. He's like, you stole your whole vibe. He's like, hey, you wear tight pants also. I was the one who made it cool. I wish I was tall and skinny. Here's where it escalated, though.
Oh.
It escalated because...
Got bigger than that?
Yeah, he brought up Kanye's ex-girlfriend, Amber Rose, into it. And his kid into it, too.
All right, now why do I know the name Amber Rose?
She is now Wiz Khalifa's ex-wife. They have a kid together, but she is literally famous because she slept with Kanye West.
But that isn't the same one that's with Ice-T?
That's Coco.
That's Coco.
Because it looks like her, right? Am I crazy?
Same body type.
Yeah, big butts and boobs.
All right, so then what happened?
All right, so then, he gets mad. He puts out these reasons. Oh, Kanye West, he's still going on this rant. And he's like, hey, I own your kid. You say you own waves? Hashtag waves? I own your kid.
Why would he say he owned their kid?
He's saying that their kid together is in fact his kid.
Kanye's kid.
See, that's not going to make KK feel better.
Come on. And also, just leave Amber Rose out of this. They're always dragging her name to filth. I hate it.
Then what happened?
All right, so then after that, he goes on this giant Twitter rant with Wiz Khalifa, goes through this whole list of 17 reasons, and then he changes his mind. He goes, I'm going to delete this. All these rants, I look crazy. And then one of the tweets was just, I'm yay, just back to back. And then Amber Rose came in with a funny hashtag after
what
that.
happened there?
Well, she tweeted Kanye West saying like, "Hey, you miss me playing with your ass, pretty much."
Wait, what?
The exact tweet.
Okay, so yeah, that could never be the exact tweet. You're really an idiot.
Are you mad I'm not around to play in your asshole anymore? Hashtag fingers in the booty ass bitch.
Which is, granted, a very funny hashtag.
Well, it's the best hack.
Oh, definitely.
Best hashtag I've ever heard in my life.
It looks like she's got a nice little emoji next to it, too.
Fingers in the booty ass bitch. And then the emoji's...
A finger emoji.
Okay, that's just a finger going up. There's no ass emoji that can put above that?
No. There's a poo emoji.
Now, what did Kanye have to say about that? Let's not bring my asshole into this.
He didn't respond. I don't know if it's because he's above it or if because...
oh, no.
Now, here's the thing you guys need to know about me. I'm a Kanye guy through and through.
I didn't know that.
I'm a huge Kanye fan.
Yeah.
And so he can't do no wrong in my eyes.
Well, I am if Jesus Walks is the only song that we're talking about.
Sure, then, obviously.
I think there was the one he did with Jamie Foxx, too, right? The Gold Digger I like. But I have to have it filtered through mass media before I get to it.
Well, here's my thing. I don't think he responded because he's above Amber Rose. She's not. Her and Wiz Khalifa aren't on Kanye's level.
No, the thing is, if someone brings up your personal kink, right, then all of a sudden you feel fucking exposed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But that only came from him saying, your child with her is
No,
mine.
but I'm saying that is a ridiculous statement, but what she said to him is probably true. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
And I know plenty of guys that can't do anything without a finger in their ass, and they're never comfortable if it comes up, but people who date them are like, you know, I like him, but everything can't be about his asshole. You know? And like, that freaks that dude out.
Another funny part of it was...
That's enough.
Piers Morgan jumped in.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Piers.
Why?
And he goes, Kanye West, it's really unethical of you to bring up someone's kid when you're having Twitter battle. And I'm thinking, Piers Morgan is saying this? Isn't he exiled from England?
No. First of all, that he's not. Second of all, even though we all agree with what he's saying, it doesn't need to be said.
Yeah.
Certainly not by him.
Everyone knows he should have brought the kid up.
But even with him bringing the kid up, you're still Team Kanye.
Oh, yeah, through and through. I mean, I think people, they mistake his personal life with his music.
The thing is, every Steelers fan is going to be Team Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you're going to be up against Ben Roethlisberger now.
That's true, and he can throw the ball.
He's got two Super Bowl rings.
Well, for that hashtag, I think I'm Team Amber Rose. Is that okay?
Well, she won, apparently.
She shut the whole thing down.
And is that all she said? Just one? Now you want to...
And then she also tweeted, LOL at Kanye West. Now you want to delete your tweets because Muva has arrived? Hashtag Twitter fingers. Hashtag you're getting bodied by a stripper N-word.
And that's in response to one of Kanye's tweets. Wiz Khalifa, you got trapped by a stripper.
She's a stripper?
She was a stripper. And then, she's kind of come out and did the whole anti-slut shaming. That's kind of her thing.
Right. And he's trying to slut shame.
Yeah, he's trying to say, that's a less than thing that you were with somebody who was once a stripper.
But then she butt shamed him.
Yeah, she butt shamed him.
Should he be ashamed? I think that he should say it.
I don't think so.
The emoji was shameful.
It's a erogenous zone that I happen to enjoy. Not everyone does.
Yeah, just
some people are crazy about it.
I don't know. I'm on Kanye's side because she's literally only famous for sleeping with Kanye.
All right.
Oh,
but let me explain, and maybe this ties in. So remember Esther Koo was in here and talking about bleaching her asshole, right?
Yeah.
Flathead got very excited about that and asked what her story was. And then I said what Flat said to me, and then he wrote back to me, "You're blowing up my spot with Esther Koo," just because I liked her talking. He said he sat straight up as soon as he heard that she bleaches her asshole.
I thought you said the opposite. She said, even though it's brown, everyone still wants to get up in there.
Yeah, all they want to do is eat it. Now, here's the thing. I do nothing about what you said has entertained me, has shocked me, has done anything. So why is this a major fucking story? This literally is junior high school as you could get. There's nothing here that happened that would be interesting.
I think it's because these are two big rappers.
Dude, I remember when big rappers used to shoot each other in the street. That was fucking fascinating. This is high school and boring.
Now they just do gun emoji. That's not cool.
Yeah.
I bet Kanye doesn't even own a fucking firearm. I'm sure Amber Rose does when she's collecting those tips.
She's got to.
All right, Kevin wants to help us with something. Kevin, what's up?
What's going on, guys?
Hey.
Hey, so the reason you're getting bodied by a singing nigga, that's why that line is so popular. That's the line that killed the whole thing.
Now, why would that kill it, though? What is so exciting about that?
Because that's why it's so popular, because she punked him, straight punked him. He can't say nothing. He won't even come back because of that line.
So you're excited by this as well, Kevin. This is
very excited. I've been listening to it all morning.
Now, I will say this. I can't go to a single news place and not see this Twitter battle going around.
Yeah, there's memes all over the place.
It has blown the Amy Schumer, does she steal or not, off the front pages.
She must love this.
Yeah, this is the best thing ever happened to her.
Need a break.
She'd be willing to go over and finger Kanye's ass for a while. just to drop this. All right, good stuff there, Kevin. I'm glad this excites you. David.
Yeah, I don't know what Kanye has to be ashamed of. She's the one going around putting fingers in people's asses.
All right, that could be your tweet. Get involved. Go ahead.
Jump in.
Maybe he'll RT that.
At Kanye West?
Yeah.
At least he got something out of it.
Yeah. That's true. His ass got fingered, but she was just pleasing her man at the time.
Isn't that a nice thing to do?
Isn't that what it's all about? There's a lot of things people will do sexually. But it's not for them. It's for the other person.
Yeah, that's, to me, sounds like she was at one time very caring to him.
It's the only way he's going to finish.
Sure.
Let's be honest.
She knows what he likes.
Sirius XM fantasy sports radio host Lisa Ann actually jumped in on it as well.
All right, let's hear that.
She said, I will spend the night organizing old emails from Kanye, including the amazing cock shots he sent me unwarranted. All strippers rejoice, LOL.
No, so she's anti-Kanye.
Yeah, she's on Amber Rose's side.
Maybe we could get her together one day with Joey Jojo, who was just part of the Kanye army.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't care who's saying what about anybody. I am telling you the truth. Now, I can't follow this story, but why is Rob Kardashian with some other girl in the middle of the story? Then I get really confused.
Okay, so Rob Kardashian is dating Blanc China, who is...
All right, let's just stop this. I thought for sure it was Black China.
I thought it was Black China.
Oh, I've been saying Blanc.
What?
No, it is black. You're right. I'm just dyslexic. Anyway, so he's been dating...
I thought I was being racist.
He's been dating Black China, who is Tyga, Kylie Jenner's main squeeze right now. That's his ex-girlfriend.
Okay, I've been thinking that guy's name was Tyga.
I went with Tyga, too.
Me too.
Oh, it's Tyga.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get this straight. Tyga is dating Kylie Jenner.
Yes, correct.
Okay. And then what happened?
Okay, so now Rob Kardashian, he's bringing Tyga's ex, Blac Chyna, into the mix, into the family, and the whole family's like, what are you doing? This is bad blood right here.
This is literally what a soap opera is.
Yeah, so what you're saying is they were once a couple.
Yes.
They split, and
Correct.
now they're each having sex with a sibling.
Yeah, pretty much. Kardashians slay around quite a bit.
You don't want to be Eskimo brothers with your literal brother. It's
All
not
right.
good.
What do you mean by Eskimo brother?
Eskimo brother is a term that dudes will use to say, I don't actually know why it's called Eskimo brother. Somebody has to enlighten me. But it means,
Probably because there's not that many people in an Eskimo village.
perhaps. But it's to say, we're brothers now because we had sex with the same person.
Now, what would be worse, being an Eskimo brother or just being an Eskimo? Because that, I gotta get some warmer temperatures.
What about an Eskimo brother? An Eskimo who's also an
that's
Eskimo
why.
brother.
Eskimos are Eskimos brothers. So I think that comes from there's so few people in the village.
Right.
Right?
I always took it as, you know how Eskimo kisses, you rub noses?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's kind of the same thing, only you're penetrating the same person. Yeah.
Let me
And then
tell
you
you,
rub on the inside.
Pretty much.
I came from a town and a social situation when I was a youngster that everybody was Eskimo brothers.
Yeah. I went to a college that was very small.
Eskimo brothers.
You're
It's an Eskimo village.
It's a village of Eskimos. Everyone was very close.
But is that something? That's the weird thing. It's just a matter of whether a guy can live with that or not.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of my close friends, I'm just like, wait, how are we not Eskimo brothers yet?
Because none of your guys get laid.
That's probably why.
Can I tell you?
So if you're all virgins, then
I see his roommate Charlie in the hall yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to Charlie for a second, and fucking Joe is coming the other direction, like 25 yards away. He sees Charlie and lights up as if he saw me talking with Santa Claus. Now you're with Charlie every night, right?
Yeah, but
why are you so excited?
That's my buddy. He's down the hall. I'm like, hey, that's Charlie over there. I'm going to talk to him.
Now, does Charlie care about this? Who's dating who that you did?
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of lives in our apartment and amongst our friends.
And
you
everybody's
know?
going back and forth. Do you believe this shit?
Yeah.
Look at this tweet.
Is everyone Team Kanye in that house?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Well, I'll tell you this. You have turned our listeners onto it. They all want to discuss it with you, okay?
Okay, yep.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
No adults care about this. Like I said, once you've been through Tupac and Biggie, who fucking cares about this?
It's a more civilized time.
More civilized, but more boring. No one should talk about it then. If you're not going to fucking turn this into a wet t-shirt contest. What do we care? Now, the only thing about Rob Kardashian is Black China an attractive, exciting person, or is he just trying to hurt his family?
I think he's getting caught up in that ass.
Then let me say this.
He's got a point.
That ass.
If he is caught up in that ass, then the family has to accept. If he's doing it just to bust his little sister's balls,
Is Rob Kardashian the one that like disappeared? Is he the one that's like the black sheep?
Yeah, he is.
They're all the black sheep, dude.
He's the white sheep, I guess, if anything.
Yeah, he's the one that went to his house and started eating carbs.
I like that guy.
So apparently, though, because I understand this story, the Eskimo story more, the older sister of his chucked her out of his house, like, I can't have you in there because you're with Black China. So now he's living at Black China's.
Oh my God.
Here, we got some updates on it right now.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy.
Huh.
But at least it excites you. And that one dude from California was fucking fired up about it.
Thank you, Kevin. From California.
It's all I was thinking about, apparently.
He's watching it all morning.
Here's some of the tweets. Adam says, I'm confused. Is the point of doing this story to show how bad Joe is as talking about news stories? No, that was Chris.
Yeah.
Chris was the bad one at it.
Yeah, I think Joe actually, he brought us up to speed. You're incorrect, sir.
And then Emerald City King said, Eskimo brother is AKA Peter-in-law.
Peter-in-law.
Yeah, a lot of people are sending in the Peter-in-laws. Pretty exciting stuff, though. Yeah, I will tell you the truth. I would rather than hear about the weirdness of all those guys, say to myself, I'd rather hear about a wrestling storyline from a little kid to tell me why somebody is mad at someone else.
The problem is with that, though, not enough butt play in those stories, usually.
So it's the butt play that made this a story.
Yeah, for me.
That's where my interest
perked. And give me the hashtag again.
All right, so the hashtag is #fingers in the booty ass bitch.
Love it.
And that was preceded by, are you mad I'm not around to play in your asshole anymore? Seems like there was more than one finger. She was playing around inside of it.
It seems like he's got somebody new to play inside of his asshole. See, the thing about the asshole, it does not have eyes.
Maybe that's really most upsetting for Kim, because now Kim's like, now everyone knows what I do.
I don't know. She's such a dead fuck. It could be the only interesting thing that she did do.
Yeah, I doubt she does it.
Speaking of weirdness, the video, and this is not safe for work, of the guy playing ping pong with his penis. I think it's Ping Pong Dong Shot is the name of it. It's a pretty amazing shot.
Great sound, too.
Now, I think that might have been added in.
No.
I would be totally honest.
I don't think it is. I think that's the slow motion sound of a penis coming in contact.
Then he has a wooden penis.
It's so good. His reaction, I think, is incredible. The joy that he gets.
So he actually plays ping pong with his ding dong.
Yes. This could be maybe the broiest video
of all time.
Yeah, there's nothing, because there's another guy like in the background to the left who also looks naked.
Yeah,
dude.
So really, there's not that difference between being gay and being a bro.
No. It's
that dude was second. If the first guy didn't go through,
that guy's actually the one who shaved his pubes before the video,
which makes it easier to spot.
Sure. His focus, though.
Yeah. This guy definitely has great eye. I mean, no matter what sport you're playing, you've got to have that kind of. That's added in sound. That is not flesh on a ping pong. That's fucking paddle on a ping pong. This seems like something that you could send to exes. Either male or female.
Better the more I watch it. The broiest.
Now, we were talking about Vito as a bro. Joe's a bro. Chris turned into a bro. I don't think he used to be, but I think that no matter who the guy is, there's a bro percentage. You know what I mean?
Right.
That no one comes in at 0% bro.
No. I would say, if you're thinking of it, I think the average bro, the average guy is like 50% bro. That's
no matter who they are.
Yeah.
Barack Obama, 50% bro.
50% bro.
I think it's more than 50% bro.
You think
I think he's
bro?
lower.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think Barack Obama is, first of all, family guy, and his best days are with his... I don't think he feels comfortable around men. I don't think Barack Obama is a guy who's comfortable around men.
Yeah, you're right. I think he probably has a lot of lady friends.
I know that he does.
Now, someone like Vito, what percentage bro would you say Vito is?
90... the only thing to get him from being a pure bro is that he's not upwardly mobile enough.
Right.
Because the initial bro thing is yuppie. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yuppie, as the term went down, yuppies are like, bros are like single yuppies, you know? They're all about corporate culture and beer and overspending on their vacation, you know?
I would actually put him in the 80s. Like a good, 80.
He would love to be in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm 98% bro. I'd say the only things that knock me off that 2% are that I'm not going to play ping pong with my dick, and that I don't have no monies.
Those things are important. And also, you don't have the attitude to get money. You're like a bro wannabe. You're like a bro cheerleader. You're like a guy who gets bros drinks and stuff, but then they fucking make up names and, they call you sugar tits or whatever they do to people.
No.
Now, if you look over at Joe, where do you think his bro percentage is?
I'm going to say, he obviously is close with his guy friends. Has pretty much a relationship with his roommates. He's kind of extended that college behavior into adulthood.
Yeah.
But I think that he's a little bit creative.
That's his problem.
And he has interest in. So I would put him at 67% bro.
Okay.
Would he like to be higher?
I think that he would. Yeah. I think that he would.
I would like to be lower, honestly, if you just want to put that number down.
Seriously?
I think I'm in the 60s, and I would say I'll lean bro.
I think the lack of chess keeps him lower than he'd like to be in the bro thing. And he has an understanding of the arts that fucks him up.
Right.
I think I'm a conservative, moderate bro.
And then I also don't ever hear you referring to women in an ugly way. And you got to be able to pull that off if you're a bro.
Yeah, like Vito does.
Yeah, Vito's great at that.
Do you really you don't like women?
I like what they're good for.
Are you being honest?
Yeah.
And what they're good for is what?
Smashing ass and taking names.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You wonder why
It's a true bro.
You wonder why the show fell off, Chris, since the Dan years.
Dan would have never said that.
Now, this is why you're not a bro, Joe, is that you are cringing and blushing. And that keeps you from being a true bro.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
What percentage bro do you think Chris is?
Well, Chris is definitely, it's a different kind of bro. It's a gutter bro. But the fact that he is so comfortable hanging around the top 40 guys goes to show where his bro-ness lies.
But he gets a lot of points taken down for being that lone wolf personality where he sometimes congregates with people, but he's not about that life all the time where
No,
he's got
not.
he
He's
runs
a
with
bro
a big
wannabe.
crew.
Oh. My problem is I started calling people bro ironically, and then it stuck. And then I just started calling everyone bro.
Dude, the other night you were drunk and you went brah for fucking 30, 40 times. Not that I was like, Jesus Christ. He was like, okay, brah.
What's up, brah? What's up, brah?
Brah, there's no way I'm going to suck your dick, brah. What happens, Chris, is the homophobic / homoerotic talk that he does ups his bro points. And the fact that I guess he does have a girlfriend, but the fact that he'll never bring her around, you know what I mean? Is like, I want to keep the world separated from my bros.
Guy, I'm on bro time. I've had a bro down.
Another thing that shows like the wannabe thing is hearing other people's bro terms and repeating them rather than coming up with your own bro terms.
I got one. I'm a professional.
I gave you that.
No, I came up with that. That's bullshit.
I gave you protein too.
Yeah, I'm not going to use that one though.
It's good though.
Alan in Kentucky. What's up, Alan?
Hey guys. Hey, how are y'all? Barack Obama, his bro percentage has got to be way down. You remember what he looks like when he throws a baseball and the mom jeans?
But he can play b-ball.
Riding the bike with a helmet, that's got to really impact the bro factor.
He can play basketball, but yeah, I think
Even
that there is a
the basketball at that time, he had all the reporters there. He went like 1 for 20.
Anybody could happen. That could happen to anybody.
You got cold.
We
whatever.
didn't say he was a professional basketball player. We say he plays with his bros.
And he likes basketball. Isn't that
And
enough?
let's face it, he could pick up the phone and call Michael Wilbon, who seems total black bro to me.
Oh.
You also don't have to be, I mean, obviously it helps to be an athlete, to be a bro, but you could just like sports. Because there's always that one bro who's like the funny bro, who's hanging out with all like the jock type dudes, but he's not athletic, but he's got bro personality.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Well, I mean, right now I think we have the bro team. The Panthers are the team that the bros will like because the bros really enjoy that thing of pushing it in other people's faces and, you know, all the, how's my ass taste? My fucking balls are going to be in your mouth. You're just like, dude, enough with your fucking homoerotic stance here. It's getting a little out of hand.
Dabbing is broy.
Yeah, that whole thing is I want to dance in front of the guys.
I love dancing with my boys.
Yeah, me and my boys are out dancing crazy.
Who do you guys think is the broiest late night host?
I would say my initial is to say Kimmel, even though I think he's corporatized a lot, but that's what happened to bros.
I thought Fallon.
That was my first thought.
Can I tell you something though? Fallon has all girlfriends. Like his SNL friends, most of them were girls. But Fallon is definitely bro-y, but he has a feminine side.
So he'd be like 60%?
He's more. He's like 70%. Seth Meyers not bro-y at all.
Colbert's not bro-y in the least.
What's that?
Colbert is not bro-y in the least.
I forgot he still had a show. Too bad. That's a bad thing for me to forget you have a show. I don't like Colbert from the old days.
From present day.
No, Jon Stewart was never broy. But there is a percentage of everyone that's a bro. And I hate like seeing like Vito trying to make up misogynistic things because he lacks in his broness. But let's face it, Vito will never, as hard as he works out, be able to shop at any of the places the bros go to.
Oh, God, no.
Oh, we'll be there by the end of this calendar year.
You don't have to say calendar.
We knew you
I
meant
wanted it to be clear, not this financial year, this calendar year.
Yeah, I go by the calendar year.
Typically,
so you're fine with me.
By the fourth quarter, I'm going to be fucking ripped.
By the end of the school year, you guys are going to be impressed.
My third quarter, I'll be in the Husky section. By fourth quarter, I'll be full on Abercrombie and Hollister.
Wake up, buddy. You just had a dream. You were talking in your sleep. I stole that from Matt because I saw him do it to somebody about their brother going to college. A guy was talking about his brother going to college. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning at the NEW show. He was like, "Just wake up, man. You're having a dream that your brother was going to make something out of himself." It was another Long Island guy. Luckily, Ann is too blacked out to remember I ever talked about it. Now, speaking of Ann, he had Louis J. Gomez, who's like a bro's bro, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
a Rican bro.
Yeah, he's full bro.
But I don't even think that he's comfortable around Puerto Ricans. I think he's only comfortable about other bros.
Other white bros.
Yeah.
Never see him hanging out with any other Puerto Ricans, like,
No.
ever. Like, it's
He's
always
the
a white man.
Puerto Rican in his group.
So maybe he isn't the ultimate minority.
Well, he is. He's risen out of it.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's what, all right.
He has risen.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It is the defining culture because the bros have also embraced geek culture. You know what I mean? So the bros go to Comic-Con now. The bros go to the Star Wars movies.
Right.
There's cosplay bros, for love of God. Like, guys,
Yeah, there is. Now, in movies, the bro cultures, like rom-coms are basically like a regular girl trying to work something out with a bro. That's what every fucking rom-com is.
Don't you
these days.
see? You're a bro. And I love you.
Look, I love you too, but I gotta make some times for the bros. And bros, I'm married now, okay? So I can't go on as many beer bashes as I used to.
Come out and slay with us, bro.
Maybe next time.
What happened to you, bro?
We're playing ping pong ding dong.
You used to love that, man.
You've changed, bro.
I'm now hearing that the guy who plays ping pong ding dong, his name is King Kong, and he comes from Hong Kong.
Whoa. This is perfect. He was born to do this. He also has perfect bro hair, like Bad Boyfriend in a movie.
Oh, yeah.
Bro hair.
I'll
Like
tell you-
he beat up the Karate Kid, I think.
He also looks like a guy that'll die young under some weird fucking circumstances.
Oh no.
Yeah, he just has that look. Like that dude, remember that fucking crazy dude? Yeah, he got killed last night. Like there's some guys that you can look at, they don't seem like they're gonna live long.
Was it a ping pong ding dong accident?
Yeah. Over in Hong Kong. But that's King Kong. What are you gonna do? Who do you think the bro is? Where would you put, let's say Don Wiki Wicklin on a bro list? Because number one, bros him up. He's in bands.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't bro him up at all. He gets along very well with women.
He does. I'm going to go less than average. I'm going to say...
He does have bro hair.
True.
And he was a cop. Stady.
Gosh.
85%.
He's like an anomaly.
Yeah, he's a tough one to figure out. No one's ever been able to do it.
Yeah, it's weird because initially I was going to say, 40, 35, something like that. But then you're bringing up some pretty bro-y points.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's tough to figure out.
Yeah.
I might even have to call in, I might have to pay some money, bring a specialist in to figure it out.
Bring Gronk in. He's the ultimate bro.
Now, you think Opie would be a bro, but then he hangs around with nerds. You know what I mean? He's got the Stangles and Sam in his life.
Right.
Doesn't seem bro-y at all.
That's true. But he's got bro vibes.
Yeah, the bro thing exists. It exists for every one of us, though.
Yeah.
Gronk, his broness is probably lower than he thinks because most of his is a put on.
Right.
A lot of his comes from being raised with actual brothers,
All right.
But I do see Gronk eventually getting overly married before you know it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where he's like the kind of husband that you see at Bed Bath & Beyond and he's not hating it. He's like, we got Bed Bath & Beyond tomorrow, honey. Don't forget.
I don't know if there'll be enough time.
Yeah. And remind me, I want to get some kind of a koozie for the toaster. Tired of looking at the open vents.
Okay, Gronk.
Teddy, Pittsburgh.
Ronnie B, what's
Yeah.
going on? Who's the biggest bro in Hollywood? I got one for you. Mine is Michael Rappaport.
Oh, I don't think so at all. He's a street guy. I would go with Deadpool. Deadpool has definitely got the bro.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what has come off for him is, when you think of how many failures that guy gets, and he still gets more movies.
And he was in Van Wilder, and I think people still that still follows him around. That role is like they think, oh, Ryan Reynolds, Van Wilder.
And who was Van Wilder based on?
Bert Kreischer.
And he's odd too. I don't know where he fits the broness. He's actually more of like a Bluto in a thing than anything else. Where you could say, oh, you belong to a fraternity, you're definitely a bro. But then you look at Bluto and you're like, that fucker's crazy though. He can hang out with anybody. You know what I mean? Like Seinfeld was definitely like a Jewish bro. Where do you put Kramer though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, he's not a bro. He's
hipster doofus.
Exactly.
Look at Van Wilder. Kreischer is the fucking funniest. He is so goddamn funny.
He's the best.
How many years was he in Florida State? There was something crazy, like 7 years?
I think it was 7. He was there for 7 years.
Just to be able to stick with it and stay and not let your family go, dude, this isn't working out. I got to admire that. But he's a family man, too. He does a lot of family scopes.
Yeah, he loves it. Whenever he's back home.
Family who scopes together.
So who's your Hollywood bro of all time?
I feel like it's got to be someone like Harrison Ford.
Really?
I think he's a bro. He seems like he would have been a frat guy when he was younger.
I thought he was like a weird pothead. Like he just smokes weed constantly.
But bros smoke weed.
Yeah,
bros have
they
taken
do.
over the weed thing. I mean, look at their... What is a bro's favorite movie?
Hangover?
Come on.
Old school?
No, it's the weed movie.
Oh, Pineapple Express.
No.
Oh, the other one.
The Big Lebowski. No. If you don't want to be in this show, just tell me. You're just yelling out pot things, one after another. I'm trying to say they're the guys. They're the reason they took a Coen Brothers movie from us that we should love, and we're like, where's Coen Brothers? Only because we know the bros get so much love from it.
But you're right. The weed thing is completely bro. Like you don't even think that stoner hippie personality anymore.
So's pills.
Yeah,
those motherfuckers eat the shit out of pills.
Right.
They used to be the kind of guys that would hate people who took drugs.
They'd say,
and now, like, eating a bunch of drugs, it's great. The guy who does the movies with J-Law, to me, is the fucking bro guy.
Bradley Cooper?
Yeah, Bradley Cooper. And that motherfucker, every movie, he's eating up pills as fast as he can, but can't stop his broness. I remember the first movie he did, in Wedding Crashers, he was like a dick for being a bro, right? Now he acts the same way, but he's the hero of the movie. He's no different than he was in Wedding Crashers.
Guy was a piece of garbage in Wedding Crashers.
And every other movie. Steve, California.
Donnie, Clooney, he's a bro. So, Donnie, how old is this?
Well, let's go to Clooney, because there's definitely broness there, but he'd also rather be surrounded by women.
I know.
Talking about fucking DeFore.
He's more like a cultured bro, so you can't really be...
I like the idea of that, cultured bro.
Yeah.
Is Brad Pitt a cultured bro, or just a bro?
Well, see, he's a bro and a family man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, the thing about Brad Pitt, his career was given to him because he was attractive. Then the asshole turns around, becomes a great actor, and really plays like a tough guy pretty well. Then he meets this chick, and fucking forget it. Go ahead, keep adopting kids. I don't care. I love it here. He's been through it all.
Yeah, he really has. But I would not say that he is a bro. You know who I would say is a bro?
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, bro.
He's a bro. He actually had like a bro crew.
He still has.
And high-fives people after he fucks models.
Yeah.
But let's go back to Brad Pitt. Not forget this. Fight Club has also become a bro movie. They've taken it from the outsiders, the weirdos, and they've embraced it. And they've embraced it. A lot of it has to do with they feel like, this is us, man. Fucking, we're in the corporation, but we're fucking with it.
Project Mayhem, bro.
But when I saw that movie, I would not have thought, Even though, of course, there's elements that would be like that it would have been adopted by bros.
Nobody can figure out how the hell that happens. Matt in Missouri.
I think I got the best. All the guys in Jackass.
Well, I would not say that all the guys in Jackass are. Some of them are real misfits. Some of them are definitely bros. But that was also a show that should have been a freak show and became a bro show.
Right. Exactly.
You know? And they
should have been
actually
more...
took funky stunts and gave it to the bros, because then the bros started doing it.
Yeah, it definitely got broier as it went on, because it did start out like due to like skateboarding and stuff.
It was skate punk at first.
Yeah.
And Knoxville just came off as a weird dude as opposed to a bro.
But then sooner or later, you start to see him as a bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Bam.
Bro.
Bro who skates. Skate bro.
All right, who else is big in it?
Steve-O.
Less of a bro than any of them.
Yeah.
Who else?
Duffy, Ryan Duffy.
Ryan Dunn.
Ryan Dunn.
Not a bro, I don't think. But
he was kind of a little, he was like the bro I was describing, where it's like the funny bro of the bros. Like he's got a lot of bros, but he doesn't have the perfect bro personality.
Right, like a Zach Galifianakis of the bros.
Sure, exactly.
That's who he reminded me of. I'm like, I remember when Zach Galifianakis started blowing up, I'm like, isn't he running around with those fucking...
Wee Man.
Who
was the other dude? Yeah, Wee Man is a fucking stone cold bro. Who are the other dudes?
I can't remember the names of the other Jackass guys.
Bring up a picture.
Remember they had the spinoff? There was a couple of spinoffs.
Oh, yeah, Wild Boys.
Yeah, who were the Wild Boys?
I think it was Ryan Dunn and Steve-O.
No, not Ryan Dunn. It was a different...
Chris Pontius.
Yeah, Pontius.
He was always my favorite.
I love Pontius. He was definitely in Dunn category.
Yeah, he was done. There was broness there, but there was also, he was never going to do something fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, he never was going to let someone else take the shit for his weirdness. He was almost like a surf dude who hung out with bros. By the way, bros pretty much took over surfing after a certain point. Cody, Houston.
Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah.
The big bro in Hollywood, and you know he is because he did too good of a job in Dazed and Confused as the bro, is Ben Affleck.
Bro.
Yeah, definitely bro.
Stone cold bro, hiding behind some liberal politics. You know what I mean?
He just plays Texas Hold'em and drinks.
But that's, yeah. And it's also because, like, his liberal politics, I think, come from a place of being a corporate guy. You know what I mean? Like, if he was a Wall Street guy, he would fucking push the corporate thing. But since his corporation is Hollywood Movies, he's sure to push the left-wing thing. But that's still a corporate attitude. Dustin, Virginia.
Hey, I can't believe you guys haven't said anything about McConaughey yet. It's fucking ridiculous.
All right, here's the thing. Obviously, he's broed up, still going back to college at Texas and hanging with the football team. But at the same time, he's so fucking clinically insane.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He's too, like, ethereal to be a full bro.
He's flaky.
He's not, but the thing is, he never knows that he's flaky.
Well, that's pretty brilliant shot right there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's up there. He's high up there for sure. But yeah, I think that his weirdness.
I mean, those car commercials and
keeps him out of full on bro status.
A lot of people write in McConaughey. They love him.
He's like Hansel. He's like kind of broy, but then there's something kind of earthy about him too.
Here's Chris and Charlotte.
Hey, Ronnie, can I do a blast from the past, please?
Sure.
Mr. Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds was definite bro, and yet always had those other rumors about him. You know what I mean?
Right.
The down low bro. Sean.
Mark Cuban.
Bro.
Yeah,
hell
super
yeah, he's a bro.
Comfortable bro.
Super bro.
Very comfortable with his broness. Brandon, Arkansas.
James Franco.
Again, because he does a couple art things, he acts like he's not a bro, but I also think that he thinks those things are good for the career.
Yeah, you're right. Acting a little bit off or a little weird, like he's into weird vibes.
Franco, bro. There's no fucking toy.
Really?
Yeah.
You think he's a full-on bro?
He's a full-on bro. From his relationship with Seth Rogen, full-on bro.
All right, let me ask you guys about Big J. Bro? Not a bro.
I think he's broier than he realizes.
Yeah. That tongue stuff with Louis J. Very broy.
So bro.
That was a bro stunt.
But
and they're also corporate guys, you know? What's the team? What's the team thinking? Let's do it.
I think because, you know, he's a rock dude, he feels he's less bro. But
because I remember when he was a hip hop dude, then he became a metal dude. I don't know where this is going.
He's a metal bro. He's a metal bro.
Oh, that's Eddie Trunk. Eddie Trunk is our metal bro.
Mm-hmm.
Sensitive metal bro. Who has a family life. Side family life. Hard Rock Johnny, bro.
Oh, yeah, full bro.
Big time, bro.
Never stops talking about his college days. Oh, we used to get, we'd be pretty high tripping back in college. Scott, Tennessee.
Opera man himself, Adam Sandler.
Huge bro.
Ultimate bro.
Huge bro.
Big time, bro. Good call.
Bob in Jersey.
What's up, Ronnie? How about Mark Wahlberg? He's got like a half a dozen brothers. He's from Boston.
Jesus.
He's got to be a bro, right?
Bro. Devin, Minnesota.
Donald Trump.
He wrote the books for bros. The Art of the Deal.
The Art of the Bro, really?
It should have been the bro of the art at the end of the day. And he's one of those guys that who just keeps saying things until other people start to say them, you know? Because he'll be just like, this Cruz is kind of a kook. This Cruz is a real kook. And then I'll be talking to someone, they'll go, what do you think of Cruz? I go, he is kind of a kook.
He's a kook.
I'm hearing it everywhere. Rubio, bro. Carson. He's a kook. Bush. Lesser bro to a big bro.
Yeah. His brother was a bro, like a full-on bro.
Christy has the same problem as Vito. He wants to be a bro. The bros will not accept him.
I'm not Christy big.
Come on, Vito.
Vito, stop.
Very slender Dan's getting here in a couple minutes.
He'll be here any
So
second.
slight.
And every...
Come on, Vito.
Man, get in here, man.
Get in here, bro. We all just went full bro. Our bro's here. Dude, Pearlman just got here.
He's the Pearl Man.
What's up, Pearl, dude?
Good to see you, man. Listen, we're going to all take off. We've already scheduled off tomorrow in case we get fucking rowdy tonight. Good to see you back. The Pearl Man.
Oh, thank you.
It's good to have the whole team back together.
Finally.
Dude, how's everything going? We've been trying not to bother you, but we're very curious.
No, it's been really good. Yeah. So we're still like progressing with the whole pilot. So I had to go out there. We had all these weird meetings with all these people
In Los Angeles?
In Los Angeles, yeah. I'm staying in New York. Like I would only have to move there if it on the like 1% chance it would go to series or something, which is
stop it. This is 100%.
It's very, very low, but I'm glad because I don't really like being out there too much. But
you're working hard on it, huh?
Yeah. So we're just meeting most days and writing. And we got this like writing supervisor, and it's just like it's funny sitting in those meetings with those execs and stuff. It's like every stereotype you have of those guys is just completely accurate. Like they'll just throw out names like oh, I think like this guy would be a great
it's
voice.
like Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, some huge literally the name they threw out was just like this massive name.
Yeah.
And just like and whether it was and it's like, oh, maybe you could sit down with this guy. I don't know, we'll see if you mesh with this, major movie star. So let's see if we get along.
Yeah, I'd love to have a free lunch with a giant movie star. And I'm bringing my mom. How's that sound? We'll fill in people. Dan, first started as our intern here, then part of the new Bennington team, and very quickly into this. When we went up to Montreal, he won this competition and then got a deal. Write the name of it down.
Yes.
This was the name they threw out. And
that is, first of all, you'd have to.
So what?
Hell yeah!
So one of it's just like, yeah, we'll see if you guys get along. You know, because we come from similar backgrounds, and just like we have a lot in common. You guys have to talk about.
I actually just read because he just had a movie not too long ago open up, gigantic.
Sure.
And I just read a giant article with him, and that fucking guy was smart in about 7 different places in show business where you wouldn't expect him to be smart. That's one of the fucking brightest dudes.
Really,
that knows
just
how to play the game.
Savvy and just knows exactly how to.
Yeah.
I mean, to transfer over. Yeah, but it's just like this is all. But it's supposed to live on my desktop. Like I was supposed to.
Yeah, but is that already based on one of the characters that you have?
Yeah.
So you take that guy who we all thought worked perfectly,
right?
But since he's never been that big of a star, let's find a giant star to give it to.
Right.
Well, let me tell you something about Dan. He busts his ass, but he still has hands like a baby. You know what I mean?
God,
just softest little hands. If they said a guy's going to jerk you off, I go, oh, can it be Dan? Because his hands are so soft.
Oh my God, thank you.
So what else? You're doing something at Caroline's again soon, right?
Yeah, so the show that I did for the New York Comedy Festival, the Hindsight show that Gail came to and Joe came to and Chris, and
you had to think with Chris.
Because I remember Chris was slow to commit to it or something. But but that was super fun. So now it's a monthly at Caroline's, and the first one's February 9th.
All right, this is a very good point because I think either that night or in that week was the beginning of this bender that you've been on, because I knew it came before your hospitalization.
It was going on for about a month beforehand. That was in November.
It was November. Yeah.
He's been on like a 2.5 month drunk that you said is ending at the Super Bowl.
And it's over at the Super Bowl. It's over. 8 weeks of sobriety and feeling good about myself.
You know what?
I'm getting myself back on the focus train. You know,
Today's the first day I really think I believe it. Like, I do think he's ready.
Well, it took him 3 days to get over the last hangover. Today you were yourself, but Monday when I was talking, you were down and just looking at me as hard as you could.
I'm paying attention to you.
Was you get sober from the night when you couldn't remember what happened?
That's
when everyone had to piece it together.
That's all the nights.
That's all the nights. Wasn't there one epic one when you guys all went out?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, you were invited out that night. You
right,
were
I couldn't. I had some other.
But he ended up in the hospital and none of us knew it.
Yeah, right.
And he blacked out and broke his head open.
Cracked the back of my head open. Woke up, my hands covered in blood.
By the way, there was an Always Sunny this year. I think either the first or second episode where that happened with Danny DeVito, and he was walking around and not knowing and thinking it was, fucking 2006 again. But he had this huge burst on the back of his head.
Oh my God.
Like you found yours way later.
Jesus Christ. I'm in good company then.
You're in the best company. What, are you getting some paperwork delivered to you?
Just some plugs, some fun plugs.
Oh, go ahead and plug away.
Dan Perlman. Hindsight with Dan Perlman and Billy Princell is happening Tuesday, February 9th at 7:30 p.m. at Caroline's Comedy Club. Sam Morrell and Nimesh Patel, Sarah Armour, and Randy Syfax will be performing. Go to carolines.com for tickets.
Yeah, Sam Morrell is great. And and Billy, who I'm co-hosting with, Gail's former roommate.
Yes, my former roommate. And also, I will mention the biggest bro I know.
Really?
Wow. One of the biggest bros.
Very much so. He starts every set with "What's up, bros?"
Yeah,
he does.
Hey, what's up, bros?
Now, you meet someone like that in college, that would probably be normal for everyone. Everyone you know would be like that. But he went to a
art school,
a state art school.
Yes.
And he was the only bro. So that would be like being like the cool artistic guy, and all the girls are like, there's something about him. Like all these girls who all they have is guys who are into film. They're just like, I don't know why. It's just like the way he disrespects women. There's something kind of weird about it, but
dude, follow-up cartoon, The Lonely Bro. And it's just about the only bro left on planet Earth. They all die out from a disease, and it's just him and effeminate dudes.
Yeah, man, I wish she was here, because the story of him doing the blackface on that show is one of my favorites.
He's the guy?
He's blackface, yeah.
Dude, I knew that story years ago.
Oh, you knew that? Yeah, that's him. So
he did it on the local TV station.
Right. TV. He didn't realize that the history of it, that it's a bad thing.
Which is one of the reasons to go to college.
Now now this is the best thing. The reason that he did it was he was in a feud with another
rival show,
and then he had said to me and my friends that night, like, hey, are you going to be watching my show tonight? Which, by the way, was called Women's Studies. He thought that was very funny.
He's the best. He's the best. He's the best.
And then fielded calls from feminists on our campus and just was an asshole. But again, hanging out with somebody like that at my school, it was a very unique friend to have.
Breath of fresh air.
Yeah, he was very different. So he's like, are you going to be watching? We said, yeah, we'll check it out. He's like, cause I'm going to top him, what he did to me, which, of course he was doing an impression of him. He was acting like he was, he's homoerotic, obviously. So he's like, I'm gay and I'm Billy.
Yeah.
So then he went on to be this other rival show host and went in full blackface.
Right.
Which, full, obviously not old school blackface, but he had painted himself black.
To do an impression of the other guy.
And you could imagine the terror of me and my roommates to be like, lock the doors. Like, we were freaking out. And there was an actual mob formed outside of the TV station. They had baseball bats. Like, they had all but torches. They were trying to go full Nat Turner. And it was really intense. And I had to be like the one girl who lived with this dude.
There's an article about it online. First of all, he's one of the funniest comics. He was like Comedy Central's comics to watch this past year. It's super, super funny. But yeah, the article about that incident, which is still online in whatever the campus newspaper was, it starts with, I've seen a lot of dumb things in my years at Purchase, but Mr. Princell did the single dumbest thing I've ever seen anyone do. And it has him his eyes ended with him darting off camera at the angry mob that had formed outside the studio.
The show was
He's in hiding.
Yes.
Yeah, so they all rushed before the show was over.
Here's what I like about that. Is that because of the internet, this will never follow you. There were plenty of guys, they said George Bush was a maniac in college, but it didn't follow him because we had no internet.
Right.
There's not a bunch of Facebook pictures of George Bush hanging brain on his fucking friend's passed out face,
Well, and I just read that about Peyton Manning, because there was something where I guess when he was in college, he sat on a female trainer's face. She was checking his ankle or something.
I just found this out.
I didn't know this.
And he sits on her face just, because he's a goofy guy or whatever. Right. And then she, I guess, went to the college, and then she ends up suing him for something, and then they settle it. And then he writes some book where he just mentions her, and he's like, I don't know, she was kind of a loudmouth bitch, just offhandedly. Yeah. So sues him again. But anyway, if that's they were getting on Jameis Winston about shit, but if that happened today, then Peyton would just be
gone.
The same thing.
Because that's assault, brother.
That is assault, brother. But, the fact is, we don't want to believe this, and they don't. When you're in college, your stupid brain is still forming.
Yeah.
Yes.
Particularly in the terms of males. Their dumb brains haven't formed. And I think the entire point of college was get the child out of town until their brain bakes completely and then brings them back. Who cares what they learn up there? They're away for this awkward time. Oh God, I don't want to.
Yeah. Please,
I don't want to keep it. Just take it down.
I seriously just spent, people would be like, hey, wasn't that your, and I'd be like, shut up, dude. What the fuck? Do you see where we are? People are trying to say, hey, isn't that your friend Billy? Or isn't that your roommate?
Look, if someone said hey, do you want to fucking hang out with a Nazi? You're like, no. But if your friend eventually became a Nazi he's still your friend.
Right.
You don't agree with him, and if the law wants to lock him up for what he's done, that's up to them. But you're not part of that.
No, you still had lunches together. You got pizza. None of that changes.
You have memories.
Sure.
You got memories.
The jokes. Oh, the laughs.
It's like
the inside jokes with that newfound Nazi.
It's like if your brother becomes a serial killer, you're going to show up in the trial and support him because he's your brother. Exactly. It's not like you're sitting here going, my brother is right, killing all those people.
I would have helped him.
Dude, I was just reading this story today about that serial killer in Queens. I didn't even know about it. He was going around killing people.
What?
It was the New York Post. Serial killer who was killing like people who owned like stores if they didn't have a camera inside the store.
What? So
it's fucking wild.
So he would scout. He would scout it out
go
first
into the store,
and make sure there's no surveillance.
And he had like a bag with like a sword and a fucking shotgun thing. Go to the NewYorkPost.com. NewYorkPost.com. Well, it's not Jeter, so keep going through the sections. But yeah, this fucks you up because you're like, oh, I go into stores.
Every now and then.
I do that.
Not all my stores have cameras.
This is why in some parts in Brooklyn they'll have like that bulletproof glass behind every bodega guy is behind bulletproof glass.
Well, that's kind of that means that's the leftover from the old days. In the old days, that was the only way, like
only
a
way to
cab or
stop
whatever.
it.
You never seem like there'll be a thing where you have to give money in a cab through a little slit.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, how quaint. But that used to be the norm.
Yeah,
like the people are like, other than killing me, just give me the $10 that you owe me.
Please don't put the gun in this little slit and just shoot me right through it.
What was the J-Lo was in it? Was the train movie where they filled up
Money Train?
Yeah, and they filled up the fucking change place with gasoline and then lit it while the guy was in there in the
booth in like the subway.
Yeah, in the subway booths, right? They would just put gasoline in the booth, and if he didn't turn off the motor, they would light it. That movie came out. And then people started fucking doing it for real. This is how dumb criminals are. They're like, fuck, just saw the greatest fucking movie last night.
It's a good idea.
We can literally make $400 or murder someone by lighting them on fire.
What's the difference?
There is nothing, like, if you watch these movies, you always think that a serial killer is, like a brilliant serial killer, and they're always stupid.
Yes.
Even bank robbers are fucking idiots.
That's why it's hilarious when one gets away with it. It's just somebody with just like something duct taped over his face, and you're just like, how did this guy get away? Because he's clearly not clever.
No, but that also makes him tough to catch. Because he's not following any kind of pattern. You know what I mean? He's just he's going around killing strangers, and if he happens to and he's probably not on the grid anywhere, right? And then if he happens to leave town, everyone's just like, oh, I didn't expect that. They normally just hang around and kill people. It's like catching a fish, Who knows why they're in those one holes? Everyone's like, this is a great spot. You're like, why?
There's no itinerary. There's no A to Z where you could just follow it right along.
I was down in Florida where they were saying that a guy was a brilliant serial killer, and the whole state was freaked out about him. He was killing college girls, and it was in Gainesville. Everybody got mad at me in that kind of a blackface way because I kept saying on the air that my number one suspect was Tom Petty because he's from Gainesville, and who would let him in, right? But I'm doing that joke in a show that's all over there, and a lot of people knew people. It was fucking shock jock stupid, right? It was really like, I got it why people got mad. But that guy they were sure was a genius. He was like a fucking idiot that was camped next to the train tracks. He was just a he was a drifter moron.
He wasn't a mastermind. He wasn't. But that's all the any like the foiled terrorist plots also. They're not these like brilliant genius ones. It's a guy who's like, oh, I'm going to stick something in my shoe, or I'm just going to leave it in a trunk and leave it open in Times Square. And it's like,
or that one dude who said he was a terrorist but went back to kill everybody in the bar that he drank at. He was just like in there yelling ISIS. Everyone's like, where's Obama? And I'm like, how's Obama going to figure this fucking shit out?
Was it drunk?
Yeah, those kind of guys. Well, any school shooter, it's really tough to stop them because it's the dumbest thing that you could do when it ends with you getting killed. This is what Dan's show's about at Caroline's.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
That's Hindsight with Dan Perlman and Billy Princell. It's happening Tuesday, February 9th at 7:30 p.m. at Caroline's Comedy Club. Sam Morril, Nimesh Patel, Sarah Armour, and Randy Syfax will be performing. Go to carolines.com for tickets.
We've got to ask ourselves, though, what is it about February 9th? Everything is coming together on February 9th. Isn't that the same night that the Voss show is?
Yeah, it's the My Wife Hates Me Valentine's
But I
Day
don't want you to
special.
plug it because it stands. And then also, we're going to have a major unmasked that day. February 9th.
It's all coming together.
Yeah,
It's
we've
like
kind of had
everything has
a
been leading up to this.
sleepy winter, and now it's all exploding on February 9th.
It's a huge day.
Yeah.
Is the Unmasked announced yet?
No.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to write it down for you, though, because we just heard about it today, Chris.
Yeah, just this morning.
So this will be before your gigs, in case you want to stop by.
It's super exciting.
That would be great to be in your TV show.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I think he does do a lot of cartoons.
Yeah.
I got like the perfect person for you. I think it's Natalie Portman. I think she would be so good.
That
I
would
saw
be
her on
so
the
good.
Tonight Show last night.
Chris, you have her contact?
Yeah, I'm from the professional.
Hey, you know what?
Answer
Who
her emails, please.
hasn't worked in a while? We could probably get him cheap as Jack Nicholson.
doesn't even need money.
No, we could do it right out of his house. I'll send a kid over with a mic. He could just sit there on his porch while he's smoking weed and looking at the.
I talked to one dude I talked to who he worked for the PJs. Do you remember that show? Yeah. Okay, so I guess Eddie Murphy was the main voice of that show.
Yeah,
and they were just talking about how important it is to like get people actually in studio because they had Murphy doing the main voice, but he would just do it like from his trailer, like on whatever movie he was making.
Yeah,
and they were saying it was impossible because when he would get lines that he didn't like, he would just like not read them or he would just mumble them, and it's like a claymation thing, so it's like impossible to do. And so we get like, all right, I guess we just can't do that scene because Eddie didn't like it, I guess, or he did one take and he mumbled it because he would only do one of everything.
It's hard to believe that people are big enough stars to go, I ain't doing this shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know how few people get to say, I ain't doing this shit?
Right. This major show, all this money behind. He's like, I don't feel like saying these words.
I know a guy who booked a big star to come in and do 2 days. And they made sure they did everything in the first day because they didn't know whether he'd be back again. They just said, all right, hey, that's cool, you're going. And they made it like a really great experience for everybody.
Right.
But it didn't, he was such a big star, it didn't necessarily mean he would be back to do this because, you know, he does other things, you know, he meets people, you know?
Just like, let's get this all nailed down.
Once he goes home, you don't know if he's ever coming back.
I'll write down the star's name and then you'll all understand immediately.
All right.
Everybody's going to get to see this but Chris, because he reads it.
Gotcha, of course.
Yeah.
What is?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he could do whatever he wants.
Just scratch that out
he's
so he
figured that
doesn't
out.
pick that up later.
I'm going to write it down for you, Chris, because I worry that you read. When he thinks he's reading silently,
he whispers it as he says
he whispers it as he says it.
Eastside Dave.
See, that was a trick. That was a trick.
See, now what if he would have got the real answer?
But look how we set him up with whispers it as he says it. So how would you have done that if that easy volleyball setup was done to you?
He's not Dave.
And then we would have all said, say, not screamed out Eastside Dave.
Stupid.
Got it, right, Ron? Got it. So it's great to have Dan back. This was...
I'm really happy to be
You know what
back.
this reminds me of is when Guns N' Roses, you know what I mean, had the original lineup and not the fill-in guys. That
Buckethead over there?
He's so Buckethead.
I didn't want to just call him. I thought he was Bumblefoot more than Buckethead.
I'm like Sammy Hagar. This is the new Van Halen. We're killing it.
Nobody liked that.
Exactly.
We just released right now. And
Good
it's taking
point.
the world by storm.
Nobody liked that. And those albums sold half as much.
And Sweet Cashmere sent me a text yesterday saying, "Oh, I hear you're going to be in tomorrow. I'm sorry, I'm going to miss you. And I hope you're doing well."
He's the best, that kid.
Great.
We all love that kid.
Wonderful boy.
He actually had the line of the day yesterday. Actually, two, But when it came down to smelling vagina, we said, have you ever, because that thing went around and touched it.
Yeah.
And somebody said, did you think about the smell? And he goes, I would imagine awful. It was so fucking true. And people forget how misogynistic gays are.
Oh, yeah.
But they're just the worst for women hating. They actually get hired to go on TV and call women fat.
Yes.
Look at how fat she is.
What a pig Gwen Stefani has become.
I don't know if I can get mad at that.
I wonder if she's shit in her own dress.
Well, oink oink, look who's rolling around in the mud.
Yeah. Look at Fatso, Gwyneth Paltrow. You know, they're talking about people who are incredibly thin.
They're all beautiful.
Every
one of these people.
I'm surprised their face isn't covered with cum. She'd look better than she does in that dress. They're just fucking terrible people. They're the worst. I wish Nazis were still around to kill this Jew. It's just a pair of shoes you don't like.
But then because of their delivery, everyone's like, oh my God, that's hilarious.
You gotta kill Scarlett.
You went there. Yeah, those shows are just fucking god awful and terrible. I didn't even remember who that dude was. Is he still around? He was big for a while, right?
He was the Queer Eye guy?
No, he wasn't the Queer Eye guy. You're fucking racist. There's not one Queer Eye guy there.
I thought the guy up there is the Queer Eye. All right. I get him confused. I don't know who that is.
Don't you know that? Why did you go to him out of everybody?
I actually just typed in gay fashion critics. And
Oh,
popped up.
Jesus.
Come
This is why
on,
we
man.
need Dan back.
Dan would have not done
Yeah.
that.
Never.
We haven't had a good day since you left.
No.
You know,
It's been a
we
shit
really
show.
haven't. We pray every night.
I'm drinking too much.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing's
You're drinking too much.
That could have been the reason.
We pray every night your dream will be crushed so you'll come back and we can get rid of Vito.
Yeah, please.
And Joe.
Please, Dan.
I will. Oh, you can hear through that glass?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
How the technology works.
I hate that. Chris, put a hole in that.
I'm gonna
glass.
brick it up.
Yeah. Put a hole in that glass. Breaking it up doesn't help him not being able to hear me.
So many bricks.
I need a hole in it so I know he can hear me.
I'll just throw a brick through it then.
Just plug away.
All right. The Hindsight Show with Dan Perlman and Billy Princell is happening Tuesday, February 9th at 7:30 p.m. at Caroline's Comedy Club. You go to carolines.com for tickets and more information.
Oh, and small thing. If you do promo code 2020, the tickets are only $5.
Love promo codes.
2020. Hindsight 2020. Easy to remember.
Are you excited about this show, though?
Yeah, it should be really cool. I'm excited for it. I mean, Caroline's is awesome, and they've been nice to me, like giving me spots lately and stuff.
That's
and
great.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. I mean,
Did you have
like-
one Saturday night? Because that's when they canceled the shows. They
for the
canceled
Storm.
Caroline's for the Storm.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that cost them.
Has it ever happened? I feel like it's never
No,
happened
it's
before.
never happened. They shut their Broadway shows, and I'm like, I bet Caroline still works. And they're like, no, we're closing. I'm like, that's like 600 seats they had to eat. You know?
Damn.
They're like, everyone's welcome to come back tomorrow. On a
Please.
Sunday?
Want to laugh on a Sunday?
I dodged the whole storm. I was in San Fran again for.
Okay.
But I
So
was-
cool.
Oh, I'm
Wow.
sorry.
What were you doing in
Coast,
San
man.
Francisco?
The Sketchfest, the stand up there.
And how'd that go?
That was really fun.
You're a regular there now.
Yeah, that was my second time going there. That was
Yeah.
super fun. Yeah. So they had some stand up shows. I missed, they did some like tribute to like Fred Willard or something that was the week before.
Good.
I wish I could have seen that.
I'm glad he's getting the tributes that he deserves. Just for his work on Modern Family as the grandfather.
Has he done other stuff?
No, just that.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
The
he's done.
breakout star.
Yeah.
I actually saw him perform live stand up one time.
Really?
Yeah. He did stand up. It was back when he and Martin Mull had a show. And it was wacky as stuff. I was a really young kid and loved him and Martin Mull when they did Fernwood Tonight. It was the stupidest. It's basically what Davey Mack does now, where he acts like it's a show, but apparently it couldn't be. You know what I mean?
So it's pink eye.
And I remember Tom Waits was one of the guests on the show. That's why I went there. And I think he acted like he was falling asleep on the couch.
Holy shit.
But that's where I first knew him. I don't know. I guess he was in a troupe before that, like one of those, like the Fireside. But you know how you always hear about those old troupes. So like he was doing that kind of sketch and stand up, early on. But then I guess it's the Chris Guest movies, right? That put him over the top with us.
He's in that Best in Show.
It's unbelievable.
One when he's doing the commentary for it. That's just the funniest. It's the funniest thing. I could watch that 100 times.
And I've talked to enough people who've done those things to say that even though that Fred is part of the gang, he's also not part of the gang. You know what I mean? Like they don't know what he's about.
He's on a different planet.
Yeah. Like his shit just comes from a different place. One time, I think we were working on 57th. I can't remember whether I was was Sirius XM or NEW, and I'm walking down the street and I see Fred Willard, and he's coming and he's talking and he's doing things. I'm like, oh, Fred Willard is shooting something on the street, and he wasn't.
Oh man,
there was no one with him.
Oh my God,
just talking
full
away.
Conversation.
Yeah. But for me in the Spinal Tap movie, that scene where he played the Air Force guy.
Yeah. Oh, and he's like showing them around the shitty gig they're going to do.
Yeah, he's like, do us a favor and play a couple of slow songs for some of his older guys. And said that he needed a haircut too.
Yeah, I got a little shaggy myself.
So fucking brilliant. And just how sick to their stomachs they are to even be talking to him. Plug, Chris. Plug.
Hindsight Show with Dan Perlman and Billy Princell is happening Tuesday, February 9th at 7:30 p.m. at Caroline's Comedy Club. Sam Morrell, Nimesh Patel, Sarah Armour, and Randy Syfax will be performing. Go to carolines.com for tickets. Use the promo code 2020.
So everybody just gets to come in and tell stories.
They tell a story, and then Billy and I are on stage off to the side. We're mic'd up, and we'll interject in blackface.
That's his thing. Everyone needs a gimmick.
He'll do blackface, I'll do yellowface, and then we'll interject if it goes off the rails or if we have a question or if it gets boring, and then the audience we'll all get up and the audience can ask any questions they want also.
And you guys said you had a ball when you went to this show.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It was a blast. There were great comics who were there.
It was, that show was great. It was Beth Stelling, DeVito, Seton Smith, Jackie Novak, and then one more. Oh, Langston Kerman, who's super funny.
It was a blast.
Also. It was great.
So funny, and it's a great show. Everyone should check it out.
Chris, you were a little drunk that night, and from what I understand, trying to yell things out.
I had to be held back. I already told to. Hey,
Dan was concerned about that even before it happened.
Before, and you said something up front. I don't remember, and then I was like, "Oh, I wonder if the floodgates are starting to open."
Oh,
but then that was the only thing. I can't remember what it was.
They asked a question to the audience, and guess who was the first voice to come up?
Why
and later, I said, "Give it a second," and he said nobody was giving them anything, and I was like, "You didn't give anyone any time."
Chris was great.
I think I was like, what was like the worst thing you dumped someone for? Was that the question?
Oh, yeah.
Or does anyone have a bad story? I was like, yeah, dude.
Yeah, what was it you made up?
And then Princell went to me. I was like, not the same taste in movies.
Oh, God.
Like something
it didn't even...
like he does on my show when I'm talking.
No.
But he was... I said, you don't have to worry about dead air, Chris. Just let their show breathe. Anytime there's a lull,
you don't
need
have to worry about dead air here. I'm going to ask if we can get more glass.
Can we glass him up, please?
There is a point of drinking that Chris is really fun. First of all, Chris is an incredibly shy person in real life.
Yes.
And then there's a point of drinking that he becomes fun. But one more tick over and he becomes obnoxious. It's a very thin space
Hate that obnoxiousness.
that we would love to have you at.
Yeah.
But we can't seem to... Even if we get there, it doesn't stay there.
Oh, no, because it'll just go towards obnoxiousness.
It just
eventually.
falls off the ledge.
You have to find that zone.
No, you can't. It's impossible. And that's, the whole thing of, hey, he's a really great guy to where you turn around and he's joking someone. That's a sip difference. And then if he sips back the other way, he falls into depression. It's like, fuck everything, man.
It's over.
My parents never really wanted me, that's for sure.
Maybe I'm chasing the wrong dream.
Yeah, that's it, man. I don't know, dudes. Chasing the wrong dream, that's for sure. It's a fucking dead end where I got my life now. And I ain't, this is just his Periscope. I'm not even making any of it up.
It's all true from
And
the
what
back
he's
of a
doing,
cab.
like, no one gives a fuck. Chauncey Boy is a Scope Pro. Let's still throw that
I
in.
love when he sadly lifts off the Scope Bros who are sharing.
Thanks, GoPro. Even though that bit's obviously done.
Mid-depression.
Yeah, mid-depression. I had to jump off this fucking bridge is what I had to do.
Hit that share button.
Lester Holt's balls. Here, GoPro.
That's why I keep them. I like the shout-outs, you know?
And Dog Billy, your GoPro.
Jizz Bucket 24, Scope Bro.
No, dude, I'm not going after cheeseburgers. The people just want them to repeat stunts. And I've seen some of this stuff 5 o'clock in the morning. Who are these fucking viewers that just are they waking up in their bed? Do they just sit up in bed and click it when they hear them pop
Honey, Chris is on.
The Scope
I think it's their alarm. It's their alarm. It goes off when Chris goes on.
I like it. I like my. That's Who's Still Up with Chris. That's the other show.
Brendan said Chris Daly is the most annoying plug voice ever.
How so? Like this, like Hindsight with Dan Perlman and Billy Princell, which is happening Tuesday, February 9th at 7:30 p.m. at Caroline's Comedy Club. Carolines.com for tickets, and the promo code for $5 tickets is 202020. I just want to make sure people don't try to type out the word 20.
So is it 420s?
No.
2020 and then 2020.
2020. That's your code.
Just 2020 is fine.
All right.
Vito, do you have anything to plug, or you just...
I got my own cartoon coming out, so...
Yeah, what is it, man?
I drew this picture before.
Oh, that's great.
I'm pitching this.
Wide
I'm pitching
face.
this myself later.
Yeah.
Well, what's it called?
It's called Little Vito.
Oh, God,
that's good.
That's what I look at.
I'd watch it, though, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd watch anything that fucker failed at. Don't get me wrong. He's already got Joe to do a voice. Is this kind of awkward for you? Dan's back here, you know?
No, I love Dan. No.
I know, that's the problem. You love Dan, and you guys haven't seen each other since then.
Yeah, we text, every now and again.
I texted him to make sure he wasn't killing himself after the Vikings
We don't
blew
need
it.
to talk about that, though.
I just texted him. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, we don't need to talk
Why
about
would
that
that
either.
make you happy? This team lost.
When
Yeah.
he shaked it, I was just laughing my balls
When
off.
we discussed the difference in text, that you had sent him that, and I had wrote, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?"
I didn't text back to anyone.
I know, not to me, and I just went, you know what? I'm going to let him go. He's all
I
right.
actually did yell out, just like him and his brother.
No.
I mean, the second
No.
that it happened.
Oh, God.
This is the best.
It wasn't.
Yeah, he texted me, "Oh God, I'm so fucking on edge right now. I feel like I'm on heroin." And then I was like, "Take that syringe out of your arm." And then the Vikings kicker missed the field goal. I was like, "All right, now put it in your eyes." And he did not respond.
So here's the thing. When you're on heroin, it's not edgy. It's when you're off heroin that you feel edgy. When you're on heroin, that kick wouldn't have bothered you.
No edge.
That was autocorrect.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wish we could autocorrect your life, you poor bastard. Dude, we saw him do a scope with that older brother that we had met, and then his cool, weird younger brother, all of them going to a football game together. And I never laughed so hard in my life.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, they're great. We all love football. It was 10 degrees that night.
Your little brother is like art school weirdo, right?
Yeah. Except not even art school. He goes to a school in literally the middle of Wisconsin in Amish country. And so he's just like what Gail said, like the one art school kind of kid in a school full of farmers, pretty much.
What is he studying?
He wants to be like wildlife type stuff. He doesn't know what he wants to be yet. I think like a ranger.
He wants to be wildlife?
He wants to be a buffalo.
He's really thinking fern.
Well, his miner's buffalo.
Tell him to take off his clothes and run in the woods. Save himself 100 G's.
That's a senior project, actually. It's weird.
I mean, at first he really thought that he was going to major in being a beaver, but then that buffalo course showed up.
I think if you want to be a ranger, you should just be able to show up and do it. There's no extra book studying you have to
I'm
do.
willing to help.
You go by around with a bucket of water and you're throwing on people's campfires.
He has the
He
hat.
said, now you kids get out of here. Now get out of here. I'll tell you this. This is my favorite thing up on the iBank today, and I would love for it to happen to me or any of my friends. Nick Offerman found out that his face showed up in India as part of a restroom sign that meant men. So just some there's a toilet, and under the men's room is a picture of Nick Offerman.
If you're someone who looks like this, this is where you pee.
Now I don't know who the woman is.
Not sure.
I don't know if she's on the
She
show.
might not be famous.
But it's not like he's famous there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Nick Offerman that show isn't being played in
Did they
India
just
and
Google
below.
man?
No, but this is his brand. This is what a man should look like.
Maybe that's how.
He sells it that way. He builds shelves and stuff. Like, this is him. This is his market if the acting thing dries up.
Nothing made me laugh harder than knowing like that you had no connection, and then your lawyer just says to you, I don't know whether we got a case here or not, but they're using your picture over a men's toilet in this tiny village. Where is it exactly? Is it India? Is it Africa?
India.
It's India. Chennai. City of Chennai.
It's a great city.
This guy's got a great football team. Chennai Chester High School is great.
I would take that. That's a huge honor.
Yeah, I guess it is. And yet you don't want it to really catch on.
Why not? To be the definition of man?
Well,
but toilet man. Don't forget.
Yeah, it's
toilet man.
Piss and shit man. And up to this point, it's just been that dark kind of cutout of a man's face.
Yeah. Like a stick man.
But not even a stick man, but what is that called? It's like a silhouette
Yeah.
of a man, and there'd be a silhouette. You ever been to a place where you're like, I don't know where I'm supposed to piss?
Yeah.
You know, you're at a seafood place, and there's a buoy and a gull, and you're like, should I just piss in the hall? I don't know what I'm supposed to do
What
here.
I do usually.
The waitress is like, sound it out. Buoy. Gulls. Like, what do you mean?
Why make this so hard, miss?
We have words.
I'll use the, if I'm ever in a place and there's like a single stall
Yeah.
for men or women,
Yeah.
I'll use the women's one every time.
Because you want to
I
keep
think it's
a woman,
cleaner. I think it's cleaner.
But that way you keep in a woman waiting in the hall.
No, not if she's waiting.
Mm-hmm.
But then if it's just open to everybody, I don't even know why they have to separate. If it's just one person in each one,
Right.
then why are we discriminating?
What's the discrimination?
Like, why does it have to be specific if there's only... Why not just be like
one
anyone,
toilet in each
whichever
one?
one is
Okay.
open,
That's what
you
I'm
can
saying.
go to.
Oh, I see. I don't know. I just follow the rules of society that if it says men, it's for men. If it says women, it's for women. And I'll tell you this, you'll see a lot of lines outside the women's and you won't see outside the men because we're very quick.
Yes.
That's true. You are very quick, but, you know, for me, I've definitely been in the position where I've been waiting for that exact same scenario. There's a woman in there, a guy comes out of the men's, and then he will say, oh, it's open now if you want to use this one. And I always, I'll wait. Because it's something specific, and it's not for safety. There's something very specific that is the scent of men's urine.
Right.
Oh yeah. Well, it's heavier?
It's a much thicker musk. Than
I would believe
women's.
that.
Listen, no bathroom smells great. Pee is not going to smell good. Public restroom is a bad smelling place.
Yeah.
But specifically for me, and I don't know, maybe that's chemical. Maybe you guys would find women's urine to smell.
No, I don't
weirder.
think so. I think men's urine is...
It's dirty.
Yeah, I think men's at the bottom, then women's, and then Offerman at the top.
But have you ever even smelled your own piss and be like, what the fuck have I been doing?
It's crazy.
Yeah, why should my piss fucking smell like that?
What's happening to my body?
Actually, I haven't drank pure water in 2 days.
And that's what it comes down to.
Right. If you go from having a coffee to a soda to a beer later that night, all of a sudden You're like, that's not a healthy pee.
Yeah, is there something wrong with me? Is this with people? Is this a cancer smell to this business?
It's dark.
Or sometimes it's just fruitier than you want it to be. You just stand at the urinal and you're like, does somebody eat a peach? Oh my God, that's my piss.
Dear God.
Look, I will tell you. I'm gonna give away a story here. There's a person that we all know. I walked into the men's here the other day, and I hear him talking away as he's sitting on the shitter. He's on the phone and just gone through a long conversation into an obnoxious noise, a plop, and he never broke his sentence.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Who could do that?
With very loudly? Like they were loudly on the phone.
I don't want to change the way you people... Yeah, very loud. And they're on the phone like, you getting snow there? we got monsters amounts.
Oh, no.
Hide your shame, bro. Guys, write down,
imagine.
I guess.
You can write it down,
All
but
right.
I'm never going to give it out.
Okay, no, I
And I'm actually not even going to say it because I don't want to ruin the relationship.
What? Is it?
You just wrote Kid Kelly.
You weren't supposed to say it. You weren't supposed to say it.
Oh, my God.
Is that
it? No.
Jokes aside.
I will never say.
You made it bold and underlined it. You were so confident in that guess.
Oh, I had a lot of emphasis on there. I'm always here talking about weather, so you know.
That was why it was your guess?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get why you would jump on Kid Kelly so quickly. Why you plug away for our pal?
Dan Perlman's in studio in his show Hindsight, which is hosted by him and Billy Princell. It's happening Tuesday, February 9th at 7:30 p.m. at Caroline's Comedy Club. On the show will be Sam Morril, Nimesh Patel, Sarah Armour, and Randy Syfax. Go to carolines.com for tickets. The promo code is 2020.
Who do you think is going to do the best?
I'm going to say Sam Morril.
Because you just buddies with him?
Yes.
Sam's great. He'll kill it. He's my pick.
All right. He always does well, though, too, doesn't he? Rich, the fireman, long time, buddy. How are you?
Good, Ron. How you been?
Great.
Good. Hey, I just wanted to, speaking of piss there, imagine you read all these stories about people stuck in rafts and on these ships that get so bad, they get so thirsty they end up drinking their own piss. That's got to be horrible.
I never even heard of that. Yeah, but...
Yeah, like if you read Ernest Shackleton's story, these guys are stuck on Elephant Island, and it's an incredible survival story, but they get so...
I had like a yogi or something on my show that believed in drinking your own piss was a way to beat disease, and he came in and did it, and he said it's because his diet was so pure and everything. And then we had Paul piss into a glass and drink it, and Paulo's piss was so cloudy that the yogi was saying, please no. But there was also, this was the weirdest thing. There was like something that was floating like a crystal. Something hard was
Oh, my God.
in his piss.
Nasty.
It came out.
Coagulated.
Oh! It's like a craft beer.
Yeah, there was. He said, all I could come with, he must have just recently had some Turkish taffy.
Some sort of
But we haven't seen Rich, the fireman, since Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Good to talk to you, pal.
Yeah, listen, I'm sorry I haven't called you. I wanted to call you and thank you for that party. That was absolutely outrageous.
Well, thank you for your painting and hanging up. We love it.
Cool. And meeting Gail, man, she's sharp as a tack. Unbelievable.
You're so sweet. It was
Yeah.
that night was a blast.
It was great.
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't seen anything in the paper about comedians murdering each other after that.
You know, we're talking about doing another one.
Oh, my God.
But we can't do it without Dan. We got to have Dan involved.
I want to be involved in it 100%. And I know.
We need somebody.
We need Dan. Dan's the guy.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Dan. It'll ruin you.
No, I mean just to help pick which people get ruined.
But they loved it.
They all loved it. I ran into the girl Rachel recently, and she was still telling me, she's like, I'm still coming down off the high from it.
That's so great.
It's like January. It was like 2 months ago, and she's still ecstatic about it.
The thing with her that never works with guys is the guys all kind of crushed on her.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It made it weird.
Right.
Actually, we do like you.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And I would like Phil to retain his crown.
I would bring Phil back anytime.
To defend, for sure.
Defend his championship.
Absolute riot. But listen, I was thinking of you. I got to go out to dinner in New Haven tonight, New Haven, Connecticut.
Yeah.
And I don't know where to go. And you got any suggestions for a good steak in New Haven?
Steak? There's a place called Shell and Bones that you want to check out. Shell and Bones.
What's it called?
Shell, like seashell, and Bones. It's an oyster bar and grill, and they got good steaks there, and you can get oysters up front, which is Gail's favorite thing in the whole world, just to sit there with a bucket of oysters
yes.
and suck them down.
Beautiful. Thank you so
Shell
much.
and Bones, check it out, my friend.
It was great talking to you.
Great, always great talking to you. You know, New Haven has, I brought this up before, I think it's the best pizza place. in the whole
Yeah,
planet.
you said that.
Great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Good pizzas, but there's also good dogs, stuff like that. Anyway, let's plug along for Dan.
Hindsight with Dan Perlman and Billy Princell is now a monthly show at Caroline's. The first one's happening Tuesday, February 9th at 7:30 p.m. at Caroline's Comedy Club. Sam Morrell, Nimesh Patel, Sarah Armour, and Randy Syfax will be part of the show. Go to carolines.com for tickets, and Dan's promo code is 2020.
You know, and to know, like, that you would be involved with us, because let's face it, we couldn't do this without Dan. I mean,
no.
I'm just going to get these. Rito?
Dan's the guy.
Is it really that funny, Chris? Is what I'm saying that amusing when I said Vito?
It's hysterical. Fucking Vito's not going to do that.
By the way, the laugh that he was doing exists in movies, but I don't believe it in real life.
Never heard it in conversation.
Like the spit take, it really doesn't exist where
Outside
humans
of-
actually live. Here is John, Oklahoma.
Hey there, Ron.
Yeah.
Jimmy Bain, the bassist for Dio, passed away, I think it was yesterday.
You know, I hadn't even heard that.
Me either.
But it is not a good year
I
for
think
rockers.
The bad part about that, Ronnie B,
What's
is
that?
your call screener did not even know who Dio is.
Oh, my God.
Jam band.
Who's this Dio?
Oh, he's a jam guy.
He's a jam
He's not
guy.
a metal guy at all.
Yeah.
Jam band. Is there any metal bands that you enjoy even slightly?
That's negative.
Jam band.
Yeah.
Now, what about you, Chris? Do you have a metal band?
Metallica, I guess.
Well, see, I guess that can't mean
No, there's not. I don't put on metal.
Can I pick purple?
Everybody loves purple. I could pick some of my favorite half songs. If
Right.
that helps. Can't make it all the way through. Chris, your sweat is just phenomenal today.
Is it?
Yeah, look at your armpits.
Oh my God.
Well, you are
So
wearing
sweaty.
like.
Oh, he's drying out. He hasn't drank in a couple days.
Oh, there you go.
No, just
Sweat out that poison.
getting that brain fucking back on track
Do you realize
through sweat.
is that? But you only have a right-handed sweat going, not a left.
That's fucking that. Maybe my right side's fucking.
Well, if you've
weird.
had your arm down on, you know what I mean? If you're moving one arm and the other one is by
Why are
your
you
side.
moving both arms?
What's wrong with my fucking arms, bro?
All right, put your hands up in the air. All right,
Oh my God. A lot of sweat under your right arm. None on
Vito,
the left.
get him under a light and take a picture of this. And yeah.
He looks way more healthy than when I last saw him, when his arm was in a sling.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's had 3 days of sobriety, so yeah.
Make sure you're getting full light there.
Yeah,
You might be
get-
blocking the light, Chris.
Put both the hands in the air, too. Like you just don't care.
I don't. And I care about this left armpit though. That's weird.
But is the light showing up?
No, we need more.
They go over there.
Yeah,
It's just weird that he has one side
Right
soaked
there.
and not the other side at all.
Drenched.
Let's get this lighting, bro.
Why are you saying bro?
He's a bro, or he wants to be anyway.
Yeah, under the light.
Oh, Jesus. It's fucking bright.
It's the lights.
What?
No, it's not going to show up.
It's not show because he's in the shadow.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's not going to show up the way we want it, though.
I'll put it next to each other.
Put a nice filter on it.
Yeah, sepia. That's a good one.
That's a good one for this.
Yeah, definitely.
Then I'll think it's shot in the 1800s again. I'm always like, look, here's a cowboy that looks just like Vito.
Actually, that kind of undershirt with that hat combination.
Yeah.
It's a new look for you, what you're doing there.
He's gone through a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just loving the Trump hat. Some guy came up to me on the train, gave me more props for being a Trump guy.
No one hates you for it, though?
Oh, people have also talked shit to me like, some guy said a few days ago, are you wearing that ironically or do you support Donald Trump?
Dude, why don't we do this? We get you a Trump shirt and a sign.
Oh, yes.
And then we'll march you around town and see what people say.
Yeah. It'll be interesting with New Yorkers.
Yeah. Can I count on your Trump vote? And say it even, we'll put you in different spots in the city and then you end up in front of the Trump building.
Oh, yes.
That'd be great.
I'd love to.
It's fun. Like some show the other night, and some comic was like talking about Trump. He's like, "How many of you guys? A lot of you guys like Trump?" And everyone laughed because it's like such a joke to them because they're all in Brooklyn. But just like most other places in the country, that's not a joke.
Yeah.
That's not a punchline to say like, "Oh, you guys probably all like Trump."
I don't see. The thing is, I don't know if even people who do say it out loud, like who truly do. Like, I think older people are like ready to say, I like Trump. But, some 18-year-old dude bros are ready, Trump is cool. But the vast majority in between, I think they may vote for Trump without saying.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people are like, I haven't decided yet. But I have decided. It's Trumpy.
Because I would have thought the opposite. I would have thought that people would be very loud and like, oh, he's great, but then not actually, when it comes time to actually do it, to not physically go out and caucus.
They're hoping for that.
I wish I could remember which direction it was, but there was a conversation about that with Obama the first time around, that they said
people said they would
vote for him, but wouldn't actually, and they thought that was going to be a situation that more people would say that
and
they would.
They thought some people in polls were like afraid of seeming racist or something.
Yeah, I don't think you've got the thing down where you can tell that the left isn't.
Yeah, man, come on, look at that fucking shadow, Vito. Damn,
just forget, just send it out. Just send it out. Send it to the iBang. I haven't put it out there on the Twitter, but we didn't get what we wanted, did we, Vito? We didn't get it Dan the way we wanted to.
I guess Dan's fucking staying here now, huh?
No,
wait
Vito,
a minute. You came up with an idea
that
didn't even occur to me.
Oh my!
Dan can stay here.
Dan?
I mean, I guess I could.
I mean, Dan's always great with pictures and
everything,
and getting the lighting and the comics and the cartoons
and those live events.
What are you doing tomorrow noon to 3 East?
Could we just get together and talk between noon to 3?
Every weekday.
We'll take a couple breaks.
Make sure people don't lose their jobs.
Well, this is not true. Look at he fires people. That's what he does.
But then why does he keep yelling, I'm going to give jobs back to America?
Did you ever watch his show? He fires somebody every show.
But they deserve it.
Yes.
No.
Look at the pictures you just took.
Look at that's first of all, that's your fault because your arm shape.
You don't blame the subject.
Thank you,
That's
Dan.
true.
That's a Dan thing that I always liked.
Thank you, Dan.
Well,
Really good
we gotta
Dan's
wrap
got
this
his
one up.
hindsight show. He's hosting it with Billy Princell. It's happening Tuesday, February 9th at 7:30 p.m. at Caroline's Comedy Club. You go to carolines.com for tickets and more information. And the promo code is 2020.
Neither of them will be in blackface, but one will be doing a impression of a special needs child.
Called Downsy.
For the entire show.
My thing had it so nobody could get mad, right?
Right.
Like it was, and then he comes back with called Downsy, which we know you've called people before.
No.
We got to wrap this up. Dan, it really is good to see you.
It was great. Thank you so much for having me
You know,
back.
this
Best reunion.
This just shot back like the glory years. Which, by the way, I think it's really funny that you booked them in the last hour like a comic. Well, it's comic time.
And Dan Perlman's coming in.
But Dan is part of the family. He doesn't have to just be put in that big J comic time.
All right. Oh, next time, Dan, don't worry. I'll take care of you.
Don't worry. We're going to make America great again.
I like the way this guy thinks.
What year was America great? I just want someone to answer that question.
1994.
Oh,
Clinton. We're going to turn it back to the Clinton years.
I know just the person for the job.
The OJ chase.
Well, I'll tell you
White
this,
Bronco.
it was a great year for movies.
See?
You know?
See?
We had Pulp Fiction. I don't know what else came out that year.
Forrest Gump.
Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank.
All right, good year.
Yeah.
Clerks, 94.
Quiz Show.
Quiz Show, great movie.
Great movie.
But my favorite part of that. Marty, of all movies, they want me to take a dive on Marty.
Look, you got Leon the Professional. You got Shawshank. You got The Mask. You got True Lies. It's a good year. 12 Monkeys.
Usual
Braveheart.
Suspects.
Shit.
Braveheart didn't come out the same year because Braveheart won an Oscar, right?
Oh, you know why? Because Vito screwed it up. So, it didn't do a
what,
dance thing.
what did you just go to? Greatmovies.com and then he's reading it up. Angels with Dirty Faces. Wizard of Oz.
All 94.
City Lights. Chicago.
Top 10 movies in 1994 right there. Chris just read a little too quick. He got ahead of himself.
Dumb and Dumber.
First of all, that wasn't what he was reading off of.
Oh, yeah. No, this is what it was before.
Jim Carrey actually had 3 movies out that year.
He did a Sidney Poitier thing of
Yeah.
like three awesome things in 1 year.
And basically, I mean, he had done stuff before, but no one knew who he was. But he had Pet Detective, Dumb and Dumber, and Mask.
It's crazy.
All in the same year.
It's crazy.
I would put that up against any funny person if they've ever had a year like Jim Carrey had.
No, it's insane.
That's fucking crazy. We just spent the entire 94 like this.
Wait, there's more?
Oh no, we're going across the
It never ends.
to Dumb and Dumber. Out of the 3, what is your favorite of this?
Dumb and Dumber.
Pet Detective.
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber.
Pet Detective.
You know?
The Mask.
Of course.
I think it's Pet Detective.
Yeah.
Here's what I think is Pet Detective. I can't imagine another human being doing that.
Yeah, you're right. Nobody could have pulled that off. No one.
Weren't they initially? They were trying to get they're trying to have not Tom, like Nicolas Cage or somebody to do it at first.
It's fucking hilarious.
Like somebody where it's like, there's no way this is going to be anything. They're going to take one look after the first day of shooting and be like, all right, we got to just scrap this.
Why didn't someone just go, look, this script doesn't fit anyone? Like, you would have thought that it was so tailored to Jim Carrey that Jim Carrey wrote this with somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they were just making up weird scenes. I don't know who else would have been able to pull that off.
No one.
It seems like some, ambitious like student film person just writing some goofy shit of like, all right, well, that's never getting made.
And
unless you find one of the best comic talents ever.
And Mask kind of has lost a lot of heat. It hasn't aged as well.
No.
But his physicality in that thing, I think, is why they wanted him to play the Riddler. Because he was moving like a stare doing that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And Cameron Diaz, young Cameron. Like, probably the first
time I ever saw Cameron Diaz, I thought she was stunningly beautiful. I got used to her as quick. But at the time, I was like, I've never seen a woman look so beautiful.
God damn.
And he's still so, like, I watched the Golden Globes and I thought he was the funniest by
shit ever.
far. His thing toward the end.
2-time?
Yeah. It's like, I dream, I'm not just 2-time Golden Globe winner having a dream.
Did you see it, Gail?
Yeah, I have.
It was so funny, that speech.
That was the only thing that made me laugh out loud.
Yeah.
He just killed it.
And still that kind of timing. And he's also one of those guys that walked away from stand-up. People always say, oh, no one has ever walked away from stand-up. And then you're like, except for all the great people.
Yeah.
Steve Martin walked away from stand-up.
Yeah. Murphy
walked away from stand-up.
Yep.
But then you'll talk to people. No one has ever. in the entire history of the world. Once they get that immediate energy from a drunken audience. All right, let's drop out of this. Chris, plug, and then send us home.
Hindsight with Dan Perlman and Billy Princell is happening Tuesday, February 9th at 7:30 p.m. at Caroline's Comedy Club. Sam Morrell, Nimesh Patel, Sarah Armour, and Randy Syfax will all be part of it. Go to carolines.com for tickets, and the promo code is 2020. We'll see you all again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!